Hey, Prime members, you can listen to Crime and Sports early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the app today.
Rakuten is the smartest way to save money when you shop because you earn cash back at over 3,500 stores. Fashion, beauty, electronics, home essentials, travel, dining, concert tickets, and more. Your favorite stores like Lowe's, Levi's, and Nike pay Rakuten to send them shoppers. And Rakuten then passes on a part of that payment to its members as cash back. You're already shopping at your favorite stores. Why not save while you're doing it? It's a no-brainer. Membership is free and easy to sign up. Get the Rakuten app now and join the 17 million members who are already saving. Cashback rates change daily. See Rakuten.com for details. That's Rakuten. Your cashback really adds up.
Your weekly dose of romance and drama has arrived. Season 29 of The Bachelor is here, and Grant Ellis, certified hottie and former day trader, is trading his day job on Wall Street for a second chance at everlasting love. New episodes drop every Monday at 8/7 Central, bringing you fresh twists in Grant's journey to find his soulmate. This self-proclaimed mama's boy is all grown up and ready to invest his heart. Will his playful charm win over the house full of hopefuls, or will the competition prove too intense? From heartfelt moments to adrenaline-pumping dates, each week brings new surprises in the mansion. Will Grant find his perfect match or end up with a broken heart? Tune in every Monday at 8/7 Central on ABC and stream on Hulu for new episodes of The Bachelor.
Everybody, and welcome back to Crime and Sports.
Yay!
Oh, yay indeed, Jimmy. Yay indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmie Whisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us on another insane edition of Crime and Sports. As always, I usually say a downhill edition, but this is more of a
side slope.
We'll talk about it.
Right.
I don't want to give away what we got going on here. But we have a real dirtbag today.
Terrific.
An absolute piece of scum. And he was an Olympian, so a hero who then turned into, I would say, a monster, like a movie villain monster.
Meddled in assholery.
Just drool dripping from the fangs, you know what I mean? That's kind of what we got here. So we'll get into all that. Before we do, though, definitely head over to shutupandgivememurder.com. Everything there. Merchandise, tickets for live shows. If you want live tickets for Small Town Murder, there's a few left for Boston, few left for New York in December. That's it. So that's it. Tickets for next year will go on sale in December, too. We're going to announce all our dates.
Oh, that's going to be
so damn exciting. We can't wait to do that. Shutupandgivememurder.com. Do that. Also, if you want to really, really get into it, patreon.com/crimeinsports. That's where you get all the bonus material.
Everything good. Yeah.
Anybody $5 a month or above, you get everything. Right. Entire back catalog. Crazy. Hundreds of bonus episodes you've never heard before. And new ones every other week. One Crime and Sports, one Small Town Murder. And how much of it do they get?
Every bit of it.
Every damn drop of it. This week, what you're going to get for Crime and Sports, we're going to talk about Marge Schott, which is going to be amazing. One of the worst owners in sports history.
And people.
Just a bad person. Never mind all that. But just cheap as the day is long and an awful, awful human being. Then we're going to talk about another awful. This is Awful Woman Week on Patreon. We're going to talk about the Sarah Boone trial for Small Town Murder, which was the lady who zipped her boyfriend up in a suitcase until he died and then said, I don't know what happened. I watched the whole trial.
I didn't mean to fall asleep.
I watched the entire. It wasn't intentional. Well, I'll never drink again.
I'll never
tell
drink
you that
again.
much
I'll say that right now. Can I go get my kid?
Oh, I watched the entire trial. She testified.
Yeah.
It's a mess. We'll talk all about it. That is patreon.com/crimeinsports. And you get a shout out at the end of the show.
For sure.
Jimmie will go ahead and mess your name all up for you. So that said, let's dive in here. I'm saying that on purpose. Yeah. Let's talk about our asshole of the week here.
Sure.
Brian Eric Phelps.
Oh,
you've
no
never
relation, right?
No, you've never heard of him. No. I'm sure. I've never heard of him before. No. Found him for this.
Brian Phelps.
He's an Englishman here. Oh. Mr. Phelps here, Brian Phelps. He is born on April 21st, 1944.
Older man.
In England, too, right smack in the middle of World War II.
Right smack.
Like, literally, there was bombs falling as this guy was being born. That's why his mother's water broke, because A bomb
scared her into birth.
A bomb hit their neighborhood. Yeah. So he's born in what is this? Chelmsford, England, or Chelmsford, England? I don't know which one.
Chelmsford.
It's Chelmsford, England. Here, he's born. So he's an Olympian, as we'll talk about here. An Olympic guy here. He's got a younger brother named John, who we'll talk about during this also, because he's also a scumbag. So is
that right?
Works out great. Here's a little talk with him. This.
Conversation? Interview? What is it?
This is amazing. It's an interview with him from back in the day where he talks about his childhood.
Oh.
And it's fucking insane, honestly.
Sure.
I mean, it's just crazy shit. So to do this, I think we need to probably do it in their own words.
Oh, boy.
Because we're going to start out hot here. This is real early on in their own words. But let's get right into it here. In their own words, quote, "At school in East Ham, I was this cocky little bugger." Put it this way: I wasn't always in trouble, but I was in my share of it. Did handstands on the roof to show how clever I was, that sort of thing. The trouble is, the other kids would try to copy me, didn't have the ability, and there were accidents, so I'd be chastised.
Oh, he'd get yelled at for people impersonating Jackass.
Yeah, you clumsy shit. Yeah. He was the Johnny Knoxville of the school, and no one told the kids not to try other shit.
Jumping into ceiling fans, and he gets in trouble.
He said, "We lived in Burgess Road and had a trampoline and a diving board in the back garden, but no pool." What? Where the fuck is the diving board leading to?
Yeah.
The trampoline? What are we talking about?
Why do you have such weird shit?
Why would you have a? That's the
Where
craziest.
do you live?
That's like saying I have a hoop but no backboard or pole to put it on. Like it makes no sense.
Just sits on the ground.
It just sits on the ground. It's the weirdest shit ever. So that's useless. He said there was this strip of ground that no grass ever grew. That's where the diving board was.
Why?
Why? You're still I still don't.
What are you
going to
do with that?
It's so fucking weird. So in 1958. There is a talk with him and his father here in the newspaper. And this is it's from the Observer.
I love that you call interviews talks.
Talks. We'll chit-chat. We'll sit down. 14-year-old Brian Phelps, a cheerful young extrovert, compactly built with close-cut light brown hair, a candid manner. This sounds like a pedophile wrote this so far. And the accent of his home district, East Ham, was yesterday diving for England against the Russians at Blackpool. I don't want to dive into anything called Blackpool. Yeah. The youngest diver to represent his country. He is the youngest person, in fact, the only junior to become the senior plane diving champion of England.
That's not good.
I can't.
We know that's terrible.
That sounds bad.
The only junior.
The only junior, yeah. He's
not good.
Senior plane diving champion. Plane, Plain.
I don't know what this means.
I don't know what any of this shit means so far. Hopefully it'll become clear later.
Do they mean like in 11th grade or year 11 or however the fuck they say?
I think they mean non-adult.
Yeah?
Maybe.
Okay.
That's the vibe I'm getting here.
All right.
Just as over the past few years, he has been the youngest to win various junior titles. Yeah, I think they mean kids.
He's a kid.
And he holds every one for which he is eligible, having come top in men's high board trials a month ago. He will be the youngest competitor in the Empire Games. He is also, his father said, smiling, the youngest old man. So his dad described him. He's a little old man. Yeah. That amused Brian. You put that in, he said. Make sure it's in the article there.
Make sure they know.
Make sure they know I'm an old man.
I'm clever, too.
I'm clever and I'm an old man. But if success has come from the kind of application which usually only adults have and has brought self-confidence, it has not made him the least cocky.
Great.
Does he ever feel nervous? He says, quote, I did it first, but not so much now, at least only before important events. They say, and that's often when he dives best, his coach said. Some divers go to pieces when they're nervous, but not Brian. Even when his diving isn't inspired, he never drops. Okay. Which diving is all dropping. That's a bad way to put it.
Sure.
He never fucks up. He never,
But how much stress can be involved? I mean, I realize you got to score to win, but
I don't know. I've never. It seems like gravity is going to help you out a lot there.
Probably,
so,
yeah. But also,
that's a difference.
There's nobody there like
no one's
defending
hit it
you.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like if you're pitching, someone's trying to hit the goddamn ball. It's different.
Just do your thing, man.
Just do your thing. Yeah, I don't get why. I don't know. He said that's important in competitions. He always gets some marks for a dive, but usually the brilliance is there. And they said he starts off with 3 advantages. He's strong. He's got a smooth physique. This is his coach talking. He's got a smooth physique, and he hasn't any fear. And, well, he just does things better than the others.
Right.
What goes on in his mind when he had not been on a high board since the previous season? The next day, he learned, what is this? Learned a third. Okay. The most difficult was the double twisting 1.5, a forward 1.5 somersault with a double twist.
Okay.
I can't even picture that in my head.
Corkscrew and a 1.5. So I guess you're landing on your
like a McTwist skate move.
No. But you're landing on your head, right? You're diving in.
Yeah,
because that's
like
the half, right?
A McTwist is a turn and a flip. So that's what it feels like.
It's two of those.
It's Mike McGill owes this guy.
Mike ain't shit.
Mike ain't shit. He owes this guy. He did it without a board.
Yeah.
So he said that once he learned these 3 dives, he did them as well as his others, and it put him on equal terms with anyone in the country. Then success came in the Empire Game trials, which were also used to select internationals, and now his life seems to be all diving.
Right.
Last weekend, he dived and won for Great Britain in Paris. As soon as he returned, he was competing for the southern countries against the Russians. Soon he would be off to Munich to compete with the Germans. Just real friendly people he's going to. Russians, Germans, anybody else you want to go to who's just warm and friendly?
The most approachable people on the planet.
Very cuddly. The cuddliest of them all.
Real welcoming ones.
After the Empire Games, he'd have to travel to Jersey, Holland. I was like, he's going to New Jersey.
And
there you
Jersey.
Go. Perfect. So I was like, this guy's perfect. But Holland and Ireland for contests or exhibitions. And he stood a good chance of getting to Budapest for the European Games. It's all just good fun, he says. And then his dad says, how many boys his age get the chance to go up in an airplane and see so many places?
Yeah, that's right.
No shit.
Not a lot.
So they said it's just as busy a time for Brian's coach and his family. His coach said, I'm known in diving circles as Brian Phelps' coach now.
How about that?
And that's what the father says. Yes, and I'm known as Brian Phelps' father. Everything revolves around diving. Just take the laundry. 12 towels for a weekend's training, and as likely as not, they'll be wanted again before they're back from the laundry. Right. So they have to have hundreds of towels. These people. So diving, if you want to get your kid into diving, it's very expensive. Not for pools or anything like that. Just in pure towel purchases.
The towel money has to be outrageous.
You got to really have a stock of towels at a time.
You got them in the laundry, and the kid's already diving, going, "Where's my towel?
Where's my towel, man?
We're washing it. You got to." Keep going.
They're all in the wash. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know.
You got to have a lot.
Drip dry.
They said this talk was enough for Brian. We were wasting one of his few free evenings and he wanted to go out. But Brian Phelps thought, though an adult champion, was also a boy of 14.
Golly.
He has to be home by 9:30.
Yeah,
he's going to go out.
He's got himself a curfew.
So here's a Daily Telegraph article from June 5th, 1958. And it says, diving. Brian Phelps is fit.
That means something different there. You can't say that.
Every one of these articles sounds like they want to fuck this boy.
It's 14, you
He's
guys.
He's smooth, though. He's so smooth. His physique is just smooth.
Hairless, smooth.
Look at him.
Fit child.
Disgusting. Brian Phelps is fit by our swimming correspondent. Brian Phelps, Britain's young highboard champion, whose back injury threatened to stop him diving against West Germany in Munich this weekend, was able to fly out with the English team yesterday after all. In a hard practice, he did 35 dives in 60 minutes. Which, that seems like...
How do you get out of the water that fast?
Climb that ladder quick. Holy shit.
That's more than one every 2 minutes.
I mean, you get right up that ladder. That is that's hustling.
Shit.
In Munich, Brian will dive with veteran British champion Peter Heatley from the 33-foot tower.
33 feet
That's
in the
high.
air.
That's 3 stories.
Yeah.
That is high.
That's so high.
I don't want to do that. Just to climb up that ladder would take so long. He must have been hustling, man.
Move.
August,
got an elevator?
Maybe they have a little scissor lift. August 2nd, 1958, Daily Herald article here. Brian Phelps is top this time.
Okay.
He's a top. I was going to say, now they're calling him a top.
He's fit to top.
He's fit, he's smooth, and he's a top. That's his Tinder profile. Fit, smooth top.
14, already topping.
Already. Wow. Diving with consistency, 14-year-old Brian Phelps yesterday turned the tables on his great rival, Peter Heatley. Fuck Heatley.
Topped him.
He really showed him what's what.
Topped Heatley.
Gave him the what for right in the fucking butthole is what he did there. By winning the high board event in the Commonwealth Festival of Diving at St. Hilaire, Jersey. Phelps gained. These points don't matter.
Right.
So he beat the big guy
wins,
there.
Sure.
He won the gold medal in the 10-meter platform at the 1958 European Championships in Budapest, Hungary, at the age of 14.
14, diving 30 feet.
Driving 30 feet and all against all of Europe, basically.
And doing it the best.
He's the smoothest bodied guy they got here. Again, Jesus Christ.
What did they say, sir?
Daily Mirror, September 8th, 1958. Russians load wonder diver Brian.
Load wonder?
Load him.
What's a load wonder?
They load him up. All the Russians dropped loads on Brian.
He's the wonder load or load wonder? Is that what it is?
Russians load wonder diver Brian with presents, it says. Because he's so smooth.
It sounds like a Russian's load wonder diver.
Yeah. Oh, my God. This is fucking...
It's a wonder he can handle so much load.
So much. Ian Black, a boy of few words, and Brian Phelps, a Cockney kid with a laugh in every line of his cheery chatter, were Britain's gold medal heroes when the European Swimming Championships ended last night.
And that's great, because Black's the load wonder, and he's the top. It's a perfect match.
He's getting loaded up by Blacks over here. He's got a black and a top and a smooth body. Holy shit, man. So Black said there's nothing fantastic about it. About winning, and the Russians, accepting humiliation with good grace, gave him presents ranging from a doll in a peasant costume, just what every 15-year-old boy wants, a doll in a peasant costume, to a model of Lenin's tomb. Again, if you're not a Russian, you really give a shit about Lenin, for Christ's sake. What I'll give me a lock of Stalin's hair? Anything else that I don't want that you're going to give me?
And it's a model of his tomb? Like
his tomb,
where he rests?
Yeah. There you go. How's that?
Yeah.
I mean, if it's Legos, maybe. But
you got the Queen's graveyard, too?
He gets that, too. Right under that, though, is something that we should talk about. And that says, so you're never constipated? ? Never.
I eat so much Taco Bell.
Well, they said that's what you may think.
Oh, there's some just hanging out?
But do you really know the symptoms of constipation? Well, haven't shit in a while. That's one of them. I can usually tell if I haven't shit.
You don't know, though. Sometimes the walls are sticky and you can't see in there.
You can't tell. That's a good point.
Some sticks behind. You ever wiped and it just won't stop wiping?
Something else.
Same thing.
But constipation, that seems like a shitting. Oh, my
Seems
God.
obvious.
Read this quiz below and you'll find out. Everybody ready to take the constipation
Here
quiz?
we go.
Have you ever had any of these warning signs lately? Ever and lately. The same thing. Loss of appetite. And there's a thing, look, with checks.
Yeah.
Loss of appetite, bad breath, biliousness.
They think, hold on.
Yeah. The shit is coming back up through you. I think you got like a P-trap there, basically, right? So it doesn't let it back up.
Oh, yeah. There's probably several of those.
There's got to be a few. I don't think whatever's in your bowels just
Boy,
your breath
is right rank, mate.
Jesus Christ.
Ain't you shit lately?
He must be constipated, this one, yeah.
I can smell it coming out of your mouth.
What the fuck? It's the 50s. Biliousness, which I still don't even know what that is.
Is that just an upset stomach?
Swelling, maybe? Like that.
Maybe.
Gassy stomach, maybe. Like a, headaches, poor complexion.
Oh,
poor complexion.
You got zits. What do you?
Put that Clearasil away. Just take a shit.
Sit down.
And then finally, lassitude.
What is that?
I have no fucking idea what that is.
I think that's a made-up word.
It says 2 or more ticks and you probably are constipated, but don't risk harsh purgatives. You need Phenamint, the original gentle chewing gum laxative with a fresh minty flavor.
Chewing gum.
Because you chew Phenamint, the laxative ingredients pass into your system naturally, like food, and gently persuade you back to normal.
Oh, it whispers it out.
Hey, turds.
Yeah.
Listen.
You need to get out of here.
Listen, you're full of corn. You just gotta go. It's okay.
Get out.
We don't need you here anymore.
You're messing up our breath.
The original chewing gum laxative, the whole family will ask for and enjoy.
I'm sure.
Of course. Yeah. Let's all shit together, folks. So he ends up going, Brian goes to the 1960 Summer Olympics in Rome.
Here we go.
At 16, where he ends up taking a bronze medal in the 10-meter platform event.
Wow.
30-footer. That's the one he likes there. So, I mean, 16, any kind of medal's pretty good. And, I guess Bob Webster of the United States won the high diving gold medal, though.
Attaboy.
He couldn't beat old Bob Webster.
Out.
Yeah. but he's a schoolboy. They keep saying schoolboy.
It's hilarious.
Just really perverted on the whole thing. So August of 1962, he wins the European Championships again, and he said that he'd win the gold medal. That was the thing.
He told us all.
He said, fuck yeah. He said, I told you ahead of time I'd win this shit, and I won it. Now he's like Joe Namath out here.
Calling a shot.
1962, November 27th here, Phelps adds another gold medal to his collection.
Great.
He does that. He wins the Commonwealth Games,
Sure.
which I think are just like all the British colonies. I think.
It may just be in Boston only.
That's all it is.
The Commonwealth.
So they said this bronzed, well-built 18-year-old.
God, Jesus.
His crew-cut hair bleached almost white by the water and sun.
Yeah.
Went into the final with the lead of 4.5 points over Tom Dinsley of Canada. He scored 8s for his 2.5 forward somersault, and almost as much for his next 2 dives. So look at him.
Yeah.
January 23rd, 1964. Olympic setback for Brian Phelps.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. I guess Brian Phelps, Britain's top diving hope for an Olympic medal in Tokyo, has been in the London hospital, Whitechapel, for a week, suffering from a rupture strained in training. And it was revealed today. A rupture.
What did he rupture?
Maybe like a
His face?
hernia?
Yeah, it could be.
That kind of thing? I don't know. Fuck, yeah. What else can you rupture when you're 18?
A spleen. I don't know.
You're very unrupturable at 18.
Generally, yeah.
Things stay together.
You're pretty versatile.
They don't break up usually.
You can be stretched.
Absolutely. So April 1964, Phelps told to compete in trials. Brian Phelps, Britain's top diver and main hope for an Olympic medal, had been told by British officials that he must compete in the next Olympic trials at Cardiff. I guess because he was injured, so they're saying they're not just going to just give him a spot here. So he has to get in there. April 18th, 1964, Phelps taken off list of Tokyo divers.
Oh.
He's got a leg injury now.
Uh-oh.
Now he's all fucked up. I don't know how you get injured diving unless it's the pool's too shallow.
Or
I don't get
strain. I mean, because you're really throwing yourself.
I mean, you fall, but there's no force against it.
Yeah.
You're in the air twisting.
I mean, you're just fighting gravity a little bit.
How do you hurt yourself? I mean, you dive. I don't get it at all.
Some people hurt themselves walking.
That's true. That's true. I've heard of much worse than that. They said this is a serious setback, but not as disastrous as it sounds. Now he's 20. And so, yeah, this, I guess he's twice high board champion of Europe, has an inflammation of the right knee at the point where his muscle enters the bone. This prevents him from doing dives from a running takeoff. And in the words of his coach, this means he's not 100%.
Oh, he's doing it from standing still?
He's got to stand still.
That's much harder.
I guess he can only do those dives.
Yeah.
When you hang off the shit.
Uh-huh.
He survived injury and accident. He had back trouble in 1958 just before winning his first European title at 14.
Yeah.
14-years get back problems.
Crazy.
It's a lot of stress and all that kind of shit. You know how it is when you're 14. Mortgages, fucking child support, all that kind of shit. It gets you, paternity suits, all of that. It's a lot. So they said an injured shoulder during the 1960 Olympics when he came in third. He was told to stay out of the water for 6 weeks earlier this year after a rupture operation and was back in 3. His latest injury is the result of working too hard at his conditioning program.
Right.
His coach said, Brian has been doing 100 deep knee bending exercises every lunchtime to strengthen his hurdle leg. Not until too late did I discover that recent medical and ski jumping experience has shown this type of exercise to be harmful.
200 deep lunges?
Deep knee bends. Yeah. So you're going all the way down
Squats.
And back up. Yeah. But I'm not worried. It's just another problem to overcome, and I don't think it will have a long-term effects on his chances in Tokyo. Okay. A specialist has said he must not use pressure on his leg for at least 2 weeks, but I don't think we need to stop entirely.
Right.
I'm a doctor too now.
We got it.
Instead of working on the last 2 difficult somersaults and twists of his 10-dive Olympic tests and now polishing up the details of his technique later, we shall have to go at things the other way around. So he'll be doing handstands and sitting dives to improve his line of entry. He'll be practicing without launching, basically.
Handstands.
Another setback in June of 64. Yeah, he's got a. He's got shingles.
What?
He's a little young for that.
Yeah,
no? I've never heard.
He's a young old man, James.
I've never heard of anyone under 55 getting shingles. Have you?
I've heard of 30-somethings. 40 maybe.
18?
That's awfully young.
For a smooth-bodied English boy? I don't think so.
It's awfully early for the chickenpox virus to come back and get you.
He's a top, for Christ's sake. This makes no sense. I don't get it. He'll be out of training for 2 to 3 weeks. His trainer said, Brian is terribly dejected. Time was so short before this latest blow. It is almost certain now that Phelps will have to give up any hope of doubling up on the springboard in Tokyo.
Yeah. Shingles are like body herpes, man. They are crazy. My dad just had them. It's the ugliest thing.
Seems horrible.
I hope he never listens to this because he was hideous.
Does not seem
gross.
Pleasant.
No.
It doesn't. They have shots for that shit now. And it seemed like a wise thing to get.
Brilliant idea.
I don't think you want
If you've seen what my dad went through, you'd be in line tomorrow. It's crazy.
This is good here. This is a great fucking first line.
What's he say?
August 11th, 1964. This is so perverted. Yeah. Okay. We always make fun of football for their shit. This is worse. Okay. Brian Phelps beat off the challenge of John Candler.
Yeah.
Beat him off. Just as a champion should. Drained his balls clean. By defeating him overwhelmingly at Crystal Palace last night.
I don't even know what the fuck that means.
I have no idea. Phelps' concentration on detail, especially on entries, was worth 1 to 1.5 marks per dive.
Yeah.
I'm out. I don't know what that means.
Got inside him real nice.
He just got in there. Well, he's a top. Yeah. That's the thing. So he really enters from the good angle. 1964 here. So he's at the Olympics. He looks like, did he do anything? I don't think he won anything, but he was there. October 2nd, 1954, Brian Phelps' Romance.
Oh.
Ooh, here we go.
Is this a book?
Oh, no, this is
just a little article.
Like yeah, Brian Phelps, Britain's top Olympic diver, confirmed today that he was going steady. With gymnast Monica Rutherford, another member of the Olympic team.
Hell yeah.
Oh, my God. I bet
met her in the village. Guarantee it. Yeah.
Imagine the flexibility there.
Forget it.
His smoothness and his topness.
And his ability to really contort, too.
Yeah, these two are going
to.
These two are going to have
get
yoga
it
fucking.
Different, crazy ways.
This is going to be wild.
Kama Sutra's not funny to them.
Oh, no, they're like,
for real.
This is easy.
I could do that.
It's easy. Like your Stupid Opinions, we did that.
That dumb book.
The book of all the positions, and people are like, these are ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, not if the girl's a gymnast and you're a champion diver. It's not ridiculous.
Bet you can get it in.
Phelps said, but we are not engaged yet.
Okay.
Said he, Phelps from London said he had known the blonde Sunderland girl for about a year. Both are 20, and Miss Rutherford is 3 weeks older than him.
Oh.
And then this is a crazy article. Double death fall.
Uh-oh.
An American woman tourist was killed in Paris today when another woman landed on her in a death fall from a 225-foot tower of Notre Dame Cathedral.
Holy shit.
They both fell off and one landed on the other.
Wow.
Police later named the tourist as Veronica McConnell, age 22, of Philadelphia.
Oh, no.
Fucked up. She's not coming back to Philly. The woman who fell to her death from the tower of the 800-years-old cathedral looked about 30 years old. Can you
How
tell?
high is that thing? 80 feet or so?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
It doesn't say. What does it say here? 225-foot tower.
Holy shit.
That's very, very high.
That's 20 floors. I mean, 22 floors.
Yeah, you're fucking dead. And she looked about 30. How could you tell?
She looks about 30 feet wide.
Well, half her head's over there and the other half. You put the two halves together, she looks about 30, right? She carried no identity papers. The woman who crashed down into the street had been with a group of tourists visiting the towers of the cathedral. The tourists were examining one of the big bells when the woman slipped from the group and apparently went over a stone railing.
And then hit somebody on the ground?
Someone threw her off.
Tossed her,
I'm sorry. Her husband said,
yeah.
He took all her papers first. And then he's back across the fucking pond before they figure out where she's
That's
even
a
from.
long slip.
Holy shit. October 7th, 1964. They're just talking about his training and the fact that he keeps having all these injuries. I guess he had some bruising.
Okay.
Probably just all that fucking
man.
with his goddamn Olympic girlfriend. So December 2nd, 1964, Monica to marry Brian Phelps.
They're going to do it. Tying that knot.
An engagement rumored in Tokyo during the Olympic Games was announced last night that 20-year-old Monica Rutherford, the women's gymnastics champion, and Brian Phelps, the 20-year-old diving champion, have decided to get married as soon as Monica finishes training college. At her home on Darien Avenue, Sunderland, Monica said, the newspapers heard that we were going out together while we were in Japan and immediately jumped to the conclusion that things were engaged. We were thinking about it, but nothing was official. Brian, who comes from East Ham, London, is moving to the Northeast after Christmas. I love the region, and I have got a job as a sales representative in Newcastle. Olympians don't do that anymore.
No.
It's
work. have a job?
I got a job as a sales rep.
No. Her job is to create new gym moves that she can call them after herself.
And then go on talk shows for 40 years.
This is the Simone 12.
That's it.
Brace yourself.
If he can persuade the authorities to put a 10-meter board in Felling swimming baths, Brian will train there during the summer. In summer, he will train at the Dowden pool where he has trained before. No wedding date's been announced. We will get married as soon as possible after I finish training as a teacher in July, she said. Olympic gymnasts aren't teachers generally now. Then, January 26, 1965, this is fucking amazing.
Big news. Wayfair's President's Day clearance is on. Right now through February 18th, get up to 70% off everything home with free and easy delivery straight to your door. It's kind of like a present from Wayfair. President's Day? Okay, we'll keep workshopping that. And while we're workshopping, you should be real shopping at Wayfair. Like now, before it's too late. Save on quality furniture for every room in the house. Appliances, mattresses, cookware, home decor, rugs, wall art, sofas, spatulas, table lamps, toaster ovens, dining sets, outdoor sheds, and... you get the idea. Trust us, this is the sale to score amazing end-of-season savings at Wayfair. And the bow on top of Wayfair's President's Day deals, free and easy delivery straight to your door. Now that's a present. So don't wait. Shop Wayfair's President's Day clearance right now through February 18th at Wayfair.com and save up to 70% off Wayfair's best deals since Black Friday.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Have you ever gotten a message out of the blue? Maybe you ignore them. Or maybe you end up in conversation. Maybe they tell you about an amazing offer. I can really show you how to make some money. And maybe that gets you into a lot of trouble. But this isn't a story about people like you, the people receiving these messages. This is a story about the people behind the messages, on the other end of the line. Thousands of them, working in a microcity built for scammers. From Wondery, the makers of Dr. Death and Kill List, comes Scam Factory, a new series about survival at the expense of others. Follow Scam Factory on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Scam Factory early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts.
Brian Phelps, who plans to continue his diving career, will have a new training aid next season: cigarettes.
What?
I love 1965.
He's smoking, and they're telling everybody?
This is still, I don't know, that's amazing, by the way, because they used to say, like, in the 30s and 40s, like, if you had a lot of stress or stuff, doctors would tell you, why don't you take up smoking? Yeah. Be good for you.
And it helps you lose weight.
What, a half a pack a day? I think that'll help you. Like, man, that must have been great. Doctor says I have to smoke. I'm sorry.
I'm so tired.
I can't.
I'm so sick.
I have to keep smoking or else I'm going to get worse. He has taken a job as a trainee sales representative with the tobacco company, and in 2 months' time, he'll be working in an area around Sunderland. Says Phelps, they're giving me a car, but it still means plenty of legwork and exercise.
Oh, okay.
So he's gonna sell cigarettes.
Yeah, and he's got jokes about it.
Jesus. Yeah. May 10th, 1965, Phelps misses trials and upsets officials.
Oh
my God.
What do? Flick a cigarette in their face?
Take that, you fucking
you blind fuck.
Well, they were trying to finger him, so I mean, it's, Brian Phelps, Britain's best ever diver.
Now he's the best ever
of all time.
He's 22 years old.
Wow. Upset British officials last night when he failed to arrive at the international trials at Crystal Palace, London. He's fucking his gymnast fiancée. Wow. He has no time.
Yeah, he's busy.
Although he had accepted the nomination for the trials, Phelps stayed at the Sunderland home of his fiancée, Olympic gymnast Monica Rutherford, and missed the chance of selection for the first of 3 British internationals this season. While amateur association officials were angry Brian Phelps did not notify them of the withdrawal, Phelps was criticizing the ASA for what he described as lack of training facilities at the nearest pool. He said that the board at the Felling used for the national 1-meter championship last month was removed, even though I was told it would be available for my training. So I thought there was no point in me competing in the trials, for I had no practice. Right. You took my board away. I'm not doing this shit.
Yeah, I'm going home.
Now coached by Mr. Norman Sarfield. Okay. July 24th, 1965, Olympic diver weds Olympic gymnast.
They're married.
Brian Phelps from East Ham the leading diver, married them. They're both 21. They will live in Sunderland.
Children.
I'm going to say he's Olympians. He's like 21. He's Britain's best diver ever. And he's fucking a gymnast forever. I'm going to say Grace right here.
That's a pretty good life.
He should just kill himself because it's not going to get a dive into an empty pool at this point. It's not going to, or off the cathedral.
Just be aware and enjoy the rest of your shit life because you're at the best.
He's not aware.
Has no clue.
How could you be?
I don't know.
You're 21. You just think everything's going to keep getting better.
Yeah.
Well, if it's this good now, imagine what it's going to be like in 5 years. You don't realize to hold on like
it buried in a gymnast. That's crazy.
So right under that, this is why I never knew this happened. Yeah. Herman's Hermits are banned again.
The second time.
The band Herman's Hermits are banned.
They're not allowed.
Now, Herman's Hermits, by the way, if you don't know, if you've ever seen The Naked Gun, when Leslie Nielsen and Presley, they're frolicking around and fucking clotheslining people on the beach and something tells me. Yeah. That's Herman's Hermits.
And they got banned.
I don't know what they would get banned for.
Are they a band again? Like they're back together?
No.
Or they're
BANND.
not allowed?
It was in New York. Herman's Hermits and other pop groups have been banned from appearing again at Bridgeport, Connecticut. Whole town.
Are they fucking too many women?
I think so. Earlier, the group was banned at Dayton, Ohio. Why are they banning these guys?
I can understand Dayton.
The latest ban follows incidents on Thursday night when more than 10,000 teenagers smashed wooden barricades and stoned police cars when Herman was performing. Police Superintendent Joseph Walsh said he was amazed by the actions and language of the teenagers and the lack of self-control by the crowd.
Is Help Me Rhonda them, or is that the Beach Boys?
No, that's the Beach Boys. Yeah, no, they do nothing that would make teenagers break down barricades. That's what's crazy.
Trying to think of a rageful song of that time at all.
This isn't Minor Threat, you know what I mean? This isn't like a fucking punk band or anything. This is
something tells me I'm into something good.
Something tells me I'm into something good.
I want to know what the fuck else they say.
They said squads of police and a naval reserve unit were called out to control them. They needed the Navy to keep these kids down. Herman's Hermits.
Unbelievable. They don't sing anything.
That's what I mean. I don't get it. This is crazy.
I'm Henry VIII, James. That's their song.
That's what I mean.
It's just, I'd break shit too if
like
they
a school
sang
song.
that motherfucker over and over and over again. I'd break shit down.
They were jacked. Tell them, sing it again. They didn't do Henry VIII, and we asked for an encore, and they just left. Break down the fucking barricades.
Yeah, I can't see anything that they sing that is vengeance music.
No, that would cause 10,000 kids to go batshit and start rioting.
Apart from that Henry VIII being sung 108 times.
Jesus Christ. It says here, Busman's honeymoon for Brian. Here, they're coming up. Brian Phelps is on honeymoon, but there's no sun-drenched beaches for the European Empire and European diving champion, just the high board at the Empire Pool, where he's training for his national championship at Crystal Palace next month.
Get into it, win.
Mind you, his wife Monica understands. As the former British gymnastic champion, she knows training is essential if you want to stay on the top. Her only regret is that she can't join in. She's nursing a broken right wrist.
Oh.
Yeah, and then also here's the.
Did she spring too hard?
Here's the two of them.
He's shirtless.
Yeah, he's by a pool
and barefoot.
He's by a pool.
Okay, all right.
He's got his bathing suit on,
and she is just leaning on that. She's leaning on the dick.
She's fucking right in there.
Yeah,
his package is front and center.
Yeah, with her ace bandage.
It's so weird to be like, yeah, take my picture for the news. Let me sit up here. Let me get my one leg up so my balls really pop for you.
High-waisted swim trunks.
Oh yeah,
short legs.
Short isn't the word for them.
There's no legs.
He had to tuck his left ball in.
Those are high-waisted BVDs is what those are.
When you put those on, you got to tuck your balls in each side because they're just going to, those are really
It's still going to fall out.
It's still going to fall out. Holy shit.
You got to have like a drawstring like around the waist, around each leg.
Yeah.
To keep the balls in.
Maybe they'll do that. Maybe they do that. It's a ball string.
Drawstring?
It's a ball string. Fraction win by Phelps in 1965. Barely. After nearly a year in the wilderness, during which he was dropped from the British team, Brian Phelps, a 21-year-old cigarette salesman,
hilarious,
now living in Sunderland, made a resounding return to the international diving in Great Britain versus Italy match at Crystal Palace, London last night. The capacity crowd.
Yeah. Sellout.
Dude.
Sellout crowd.
The 60s were wild. 10,000 kids riot over Henry VIII, and they're selling out diving matches. This is the weirdest shit ever. Phelps, who comes from Eastham, achieved victory in a most dramatic fashion. The Italian had completed his 10 dives, and Phelps stood on the 33-foot high tower knowing that he had to score a near impossible 55 points to overhaul de Blasi and win. Yeah. He chose a double twisting 1.5 somersault, which seems to be his go-to.
That's his one, yeah.
Dive, one of the most difficult in the book, and gained the necessary points to beat his rival by the barest of a margin, 0.40 points. Less than half a point he won by. April 14th, 1966. Brian Phelps accused.
Uh-oh.
There we go.
Yeah.
This isn't good here. British high diving star Brian Phelps, 21 of Ashbrook, Sunderland, was at Blaydon-on-Tyne court today accused of indecent exposure.
Well, maybe, those shorts are awfully short.
It might have been an accident. Like I said, the balls keep popping out. On January 19th and the 24th. Whipping it out twice. Liked it so much.
Monday and Friday.
Did it again.
Yeah.
The hearing was adjourned, and the prosecutor said the defense has requested the adjournment because of the witnesses they wish to call is not available.
Okay.
April 28th, 1966. Comes out the details. 2 schoolgirls aged 14 and 13.
Yeah.
That's not good. Were the prosecution's witnesses when the Olympic high diver Brian Eric Phelps, age 22, sales representative of the Elms, Ashbrook, Sunderland,
why don't you just
give his job.
Leave our cigarettes out of this.
Jesus,
we
come
didn't
on.
have anything to do with this.
Cigarettes never hurt anybody, they said. You leave our cigarettes out of this. Cigarettes do not hurt people. Jesus Christ. Pleaded not guilty today to indecent exposure. After they had given their evidence, the 2 girls, Mr. Richard Reed for Phelps unsuccessfully submitted that there was no case to answer. We just dismissed this right now.
Richard Reed, the shoe bomber?
I think it is, yeah. R-E-E-D, yeah, different, but still. So that's pretty funny. 2 young girls said he showed us his dick, and they went, I think there's nothing to see here. I think we can go ahead and move past this.
They seem not credible, right?
Right. Mr. Tom Magnay, prosecutor, said that the offense took place at the council swimming baths at Dunstan-on-Tyne on January 19th.
Public swimming pool?
Yeah, this wasn't even a private matter.
Wow.
He said that the evidence would show that Phelps, standing on top of a staircase outside the Baths Cafe, had indecently exposed himself to the 2 girls, looking towards them and nodding his head toward them and apparently saying something. Like that dick, don't you?
How about that?
Wow. A girl aged 14 gave evidence and replying to Mr. Reed said that the first time they said anything about the incident at the baths was on January 24th. They have a little rundown, a little script here. Mr. Reed, why did you do that? To see if he would do it again and then tell about him? That's what this guy said. Is that the?
Is it a question to see if he did it?
That's his lawyer that said that.
His lawyer said he did it once and then you waited.
So what'd you do? Wait to see if he did it again so you could say shit about it?
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe we weren't sure that we saw a dick, sir.
The next question: you were deliberately trying to get him to do it again?
Oh my God! You baited him to show him his dick, didn't you?
Imagine, in a modern courtroom, a lawyer with a 14-year-old girl on the stand and an adult's dick in the defense table saying,
liked it, didn't you?
You liked it, right? You wanted to see his dick again, didn't you?
You wanted to see it a double time, right? A second?
Oh, my God.
Second peekaboo.
Oh, my God. She said, we would catch him in the act and tell Miss Fenwick at the baths we thought that someone else should see him. Like, go look. It's not just us.
Right.
So further replying, the girl agreed that she and the other girl had discussed the matter with other girls at school. Yeah, that Olympic guy showed us his dick. It's going to come up.
It's crazy.
So then finally, April 29th, 1966, Brian Phelps cleared.
It didn't happen.
Didn't even happen. Yeah, it's all good. Brian Phelps found not guilty of indecent exposure.
It's because the second time cancels the first one out.
Yeah, that's why, because they wanted to see it again, obviously. That is bonkers,
What?
Man. The public was cleared from the court while a 14-year-old girl said that the alleged incident had happened after her friend had got Phelps's autograph at Dunstan swimming pool. I'll give you something extra with that autograph.
Holy.
The second girl, who wept in court, denied under cross-examination that she had arranged with the other girls to catch Phelps.
Okay,
It doesn't matter. Okay.
You can't lay a dick trap.
His dick should be in his pants at all times.
If you fall for the dick trap, you still get convicted.
Unless they were hiding in a bathroom stall and popped out while he was using the urinal.
Right.
This is on him, I would say. Holy shit. Phelps, who denied the offense, said the story told to the magistrates by the girls was false. So, yeah, he's all cleared. He's all fine. Cleared of indecency. Wow. 2-hour hearing. The chairman, Counselor William Charlton, announced they found no case to answer after
We figured this out in 2 hours?
2 hours. Fuck out of here, kids.
Oh, my God.
You girls got any Olympic talent by any chance? Either one of you an athlete?
What the hell?
He is. So, wow. Another girl in the group didn't see anything because she was turned the other way. So they used that. PC Joseph Heel said Phelps told him, "It's untrue. There's nothing I can say except it's not true. It's a complete fabrication."
Really?
When told he would be reported, he replied, "May I say this? It's not true. I've been in active sport for about 11 years. I've been to many countries in the world. This doesn't mean your dick was
What is he doing? So what?
And signed millions of autographs for little girls.
Birds exist.
Other things. I also really enjoy pot roast. Why are you telling us this?
What are you doing, man?
Also, being a fairly well-known person with as much common sense as the next fellow, I realize the seriousness of such allegations. I would therefore never dream of doing such a thing as it is alleged that I have done. Remember that for later, by the way.
Wouldn't even dream of it.
Wouldn't dream of it. Remember that for later. And also, remember this and bring it up. Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm going to bring that up later. Okay. Mr. Reed, his lawyer, told magistrates, "You realize what all these cases are about.
Yeah.
The mere fact that the case was pending has a certain severe repercussions for this young man. These cases are easily brought about either by malice or mistake. You don't mistakenly see a penis.
No.
Any judge would say to a jury it would be unwise to convict without corroboration. There's no corroboration. On the evidence you have heard, no reasonable jury would convict. An application for costs they tried to get the girls to pay
his lawyer
fees.
Wow.
That was refused. Having this hanging over my head, this is what Brian said, having this hanging over my head has interfered mentally with my training. Hanging over, dangling.
And his head,
dangling. But I tried to put it out of my mind, knowing it was untrue. Now I can settle down again.
Okay.
Ready to go. His wife, Monica Rutherford, was in court during the hearing. She said it's a tremendous relief. It has been a very difficult last few weeks.
Yeah.
I bet. As he was leaving court, this is fucking great. As he was leaving court after it was over, after he gave these cocky comments and his lawyer was a twat, he was attacked by the mother of an 11-year-old girl who had given evidence. Physically, this woman just attacked him and he suffered a cut to his eye.
Good, he got socked.
Yeah, he deserved it. Not guilty? Well, guess what?
Yeah.
I hope she didn't get in trouble for
They
that.
think you're not, but guess who does?
Guess who believes their kid? Me. August 12, 1966, golden day for UK.
Yeah.
Unique double-double by England's Brian Phelps wins a gold. Oh,
you
well,
can get a double-double on that?
Everything's fine. Yeah, you can get an animal style if you want, I believe. I think it's however you fucking need it.
Assess endpoints.
September 2nd, 1966, Phelps struggles in fourth place.
Oh.
Brian
Didn't
Phelps.
even make the podium.
No, Brian Phelps, the Commonwealth Games champion, could manage no better than fourth place in the qualifying dives for the men's springboard event in the National Diving Championships at Crystal Palace today. Okay. He was left with the most impossible task of making up more than 25 points on the leader, Frank Carter of Nelson, holder of the title, in the final 3 dives.
So 3 dives and couldn't muster 25 points?
He's falling off, man.
What a piece of shit.
He's falling off. Well, maybe he needs his dick out to really flourish, you know what I mean? January 27th, 1967, Brian Phelps is in the hospital.
What happened?
He's a high board champion. He's been taken to hospital following an injury in a gymnasium in which he cracked a fibula and ruptured an Achilles tendon. Well, that leg is fucked.
Yeah.
That's fucking
How the
destroyed.
fuck did you do that?
How did you Joe Theismann and fucking Dan Marino yourself in the same
in the same motion?
In the same motion. How do you do that? The injury caused after a back somersault is likely to keep him out of diving for at least 9 months, I would say.
Not at the pool. He did this like on like a gymnast springboard.
Working on the moves.
Oh my God.
That is
disturbing. And torched his leg.
All of it,
Smoked
apparently.
it.
Jesus. The ASA diving secretary, Dennis Borton, said, "We do not like this news one bit. We have nobody of Brian's caliber in the country, and this will cause serious problems for us." Mm-hmm. Great. Well, it's worse for him. He's got his leg
No
broken.
shit. What about that guy?
August 23rd, 1967, he retired.
He's already done?
Already done. Out.
Wow.
Retired. So he's done.
Retired.
Over with. What is he?
How old
67, 23.
What? It's a pretty sweet gig.
Retired from diving. He still has to sell cigarettes to
Still
people.
has to make a living.
Brian Phelps, the greatest diver this country has ever produced. Now he's the greatest of all time. Who sprang to world fame when he won the European highboard title at the age of 14, has retired and is to turn professional. Yeah. See, now he's not going to be an amateur anymore.
Oh.
He's not stopping diving. He's just...
Now he's a pro.
He's going pro.
He's the best there is.
I didn't know there's a pro diving circuit, but
who knew?
We'll find out. He and his wife, Monica Rutherford, who won the British Women's Gymnastic Championship several years running, plan to form a trampoline and acrobatic act. They're going to go around and do like a fucking spectacle act.
How the fuck is he going to do that with a fried leg?
I have no clue. Phelps has not dived competitively for nearly a year. For much of that time, he's been out of action with a leg injury. Mm-hmm. He's 23 and ready to do this.
Okay.
Then another article here, which is just 2 days later, says now he's undecided about his future.
Oh, we retract that last story.
He said last night, although he may be considering the idea, he's not made any decision on whether or not to turn professional. Okay. Yeah. Phelps, who with his wife, Monica, went to Sunderland Accident Hospital on Tuesday and put on a trampoline and gymnastics display. Perfect place for it.
He's jumping on tramps a year after he smoked a leg.
I do like that he did it at the Sunderland Accident Hospital.
Just in case. Yeah, we'll do it here in case I need to be here.
Just drag me to a fucking bed. He said, I may be considering the idea, but I've not made any decision as far as nor made any statement on the subject. My ankle is now completely healed, and I may as well try for a place in Britain's team for the Olympic Games in Mexico. So now he doesn't know what he's doing.
Right.
So here is October 15th, 1967. He says, I was a national diving champion at 12, a European champion at 14, an Olympic medalist at 16. A pervert at 21. In more than a dozen years at the top, I made about 5,000 pounds for the Amateur Swimming Association TV and radio fees. But what thanks did I get? Even when I was spending nearly 10 pounds a week out of my own pocket on training, some of those same ASA officials begrudged $5 bob for a taxi that saved me a 2-mile walk at midnight.
Yeah.
So they're being cheap, he said.
I just need a couple quid.
That's all. $5 bob, they cried.
Yeah.
That's what I would say, too. The fuck are you talking about? $5 bob question mark? Exactly my question. If we had to cater for everyone who wanted a taxi, the ASA would be in a sorry state.
Oh.
You want your people walking home at midnight. Yeah. Now I turned professional earlier this year, and I can make the reply I daren't make them. Swimming is in a sorry state, and people like you are the reason, he says.
It's trouble, and you did this.
Fucked this up, Brian Phelps says. Even now, after a few weeks to think it over, I can't find anything charitable to say about the majority of swimming officials. They are narrow-minded, childish old men swayed by petty jealousness.
Is that right?
That's right, and if they show their dicks to kids, they're getting in trouble.
Yeah,
not me.
Old men that are jealous I'm a pedo.
Jealousies of my
my ability to flash cock at children.
That's what it is. Christ. In their turn, they'll tell you Brian Phelps is a big head who wouldn't listen to advice. Okay. That's rubbish. I listened to my trainer, Wally Orner, for hours, and I picked up every tip I could from the Americans. But why should I listen to the people who don't know what they're talking about?
Okay.
They're full of shit.
Yeah.
For the trouble is that too many officials don't know even the basics of diving, don't realize that it's a specialist sport. They treat divers as swimmers, which is ludicrous. A diver doesn't need a swimmer's stamina. In fact, he needs the water only to break his fall. Yeah, just to not die.
Okay, yeah.
For years, we suffered the national championships at Blackpool, a cold, old-fashioned pool, the worst on earth for divers. But it suited the officials. It's an old newspaper, hard to read, who liked a good time week. Now we've got championships moved to Crystal Palace. What luxury if you can get in. Some of the officials think that they're guarding Buckingham Palace, like the man who ordered the divers to make a 10-minute walk to the other side of the pool rather than let us through the door nearest to the boards. You're not coming in here, he kept bellowing. Yeah. Finally, there was a scuffle, and I got past him with the others, only to find the competition had already started ahead of schedule.
Oh, no.
Yeah. There was one diver on the board while the rest of us were struggling to get in. As I burst through the door, I was told, "You're all disqualified.
Yeah.
Nobody will be allowed to dive unless they're here on time." but the lone diver was foiled of his glory, for we protested that there had been no information about a change in schedule. The committee retired to consider this protest and finally announced, you can compete.
Okay, so they're going to run the events that they missed already?
Well, I guess they just weren't going to let him do it.
Yeah.
They were just going to let one guy dive and give him the championship,
Okay.
I guess.
Right.
He said that, I'm sorry to say, is typical of the mismanagement in the amateur swimming and diving, and yes, even at the Olympics.
Yeah, and I do know if you have a kid in swim and you get there late and they miss an event, you pay for what you
already got it.
Yeah, you pay and your kid doesn't get to swim.
That's it.
It's crazy.
The ASA were responsible for keeping us posted on the schedule changes at Rome, but they told us nothing. In the end, we grew so fed up with getting no practice through timetable changes that we took over the Rome pool one morning. The Olympic Committee was outraged. They called for the Italian police to throw us out.
Oh.
Don't worry, they're bribable, I'm sure. I had trouble in the Tokyo Olympics too. Relations between myself and team manager Alf. Okay, his team manager is Alf. Okay,
and they don't get along.
There was no one in Britain to touch me. And then I found out that some of the ASA officials who had approved my retirement didn't want to pick me for the games. They said I hadn't contributed anything to international events in the year before the Olympics. I was shattered. I saw a year's hard work going to waste. In the end, the opposition boiled down to one man, Dick Hodgson.
Goddamn Dick.
Dick just keeps coming back in this story here. International team manager in my retirement year and a member of the selection committee. He declared, if Phelps is picked, then I'll resign.
Oh.
But finally, he was outnumbered. 3 of the members of the diving committee, including Wally Orner, announced if Phelps isn't selected, we'll resign. So Hodgson was overruled, and I went to Tokyo, but the controversy did nothing to improve my opinion of ASA officials, an opinion that sank to rock bottom some 18 months ago during the biggest crisis of my life. That was when I was accused of indecent exposure at a swimming bath in Newcastle.
We weren't even talking about that until you brought it up.
He's like, I'll bring it right up. Teammates sympathized with me. They're like, who hasn't taken their dick out, mate? I get it.
From time to time, you got to let it get the sun.
It's, I mean, it's not out often, but
it's the best way to absorb the rays.
Oh, God. They were well aware that the international swimmers and divers are prone to that kind of accusation.
Prone?
Why would you be, unless your dick's out all the time, why would you be prone to that?
I mean, we're wearing skimpy outfits, and we all have cocks.
Is that?
So sometimes they fall out.
Wow.
Yeah.
He said, I knew I was innocent. There were witnesses to support me. And when the case finally came to court, I was cleared without even needing to call my defense. But the weeks between the charge and hearing were still worrying ones, and ASA officials did nothing to ease my mind. Yeah, they're separating themselves from you. You took your dick out in front of kids.
It's unbelievable that they all are just. This is just a commonplace thing.
It happens all the time. Every swimmer knows.
They're always seeing our dicks.
You're always showing it to kids. He said they had me guilty and jailed before a word of evidence was heard. I arrived at the British team's hotel ready for a Six Nations tournament in Strasbourg only a few hours after the news of the accusation became public. An official greeted me grimly. Read the newspapers? We didn't think you'd be coming.
Oh, we thought.
You little pervert.
Yeah, we didn't think you'd be here, Vito.
2 minutes later, as I walked to the reception desk, other officials surrounded me, chanting, "You're a disgrace to the sport." I could hardly believe my ears. But then the penny dropped. They were deliberately baiting me, trying to rile me into answering back. Maybe just swinging his dick around.
Yeah,
showing
helicopter it.
Showing her fucking show of force, you know?
See how long it takes for him to pull it out.
It's a mental move. It's like back in the day when Tyson used to weigh in nude. It's the same type of thing. Yeah. Take that. Let's see here.
Stare at it.
Then I could be found not guilty and of rudeness and could be sent home. Then I could be found guilty of rudeness. Okay. Yeah. I hold my peace apart from asking, how many years have you known me? Held my peace right here.
Don't tell them.
Somebody makes a charge that like that and you think it's a reason for not turning up. You don't know the facts. But it was obvious that I wasn't wanted on the plane to Strasbourg. It was said by some officials that I wasn't eligible because I hadn't returned a letter confirming my selection. I soon shot that down. Their next move was even different. I've seen them bullying. There's no other description. Youngsters into smuggling bottles of spirits through customs for them. Now he's blowing up the whole spot.
Yeah.
My dick's out. Well, you're getting kids to smuggle booze through customs. Anyway, I'm glad to be out of it. Now I'm with my wife, Monica, the British gymnastics champion. We're putting on shows to raise funds for a gym and a pool where youngsters can have training facilities we never enjoyed, so we can be around more kids.
Yeah.
Perfect. And without doddering and interfering officials, too.
I don't need anybody watching me.
No oversight here, everybody. April 16th, 1968, Brian Phelps in team to visit Central Swimming Pool. Brian Phelps, Olympic diving champion, and the bikini-clad Aqua Bells will be appearing at the Aqua Show to be held in the Central Swimming Pool in Reading on May 4th. Brian won his Olympic medal in Rome in 1960. He's a national champion 22 times, won all these gold medals in Commonwealth Games. Also in the diving team will appear in the show was Billy Woods, national junior highboard champion. Yeah. Okay, I guess the show will also feature a display of gymnastics by Brian Phelps' wife. Okay. Yeah, and also, in addition to that, 3 comedy sketches and a water ballet by the Aqua Bells. Yeah. Comedy sketches from divers and gymnasts.
By the Aqua Bells.
Fuck that.
Holy shit.
So October 21st, 1968, all about going pro.
Yeah.
They say the headline is Olympic stars turn to cabaret act.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. They're doing a daily, a variety show in the pool.
I feel like it's Blazing Saddles.
Yeah.
It's a big production. Guys in tuxes and shit.
What's the song that she sings in it? What is it?
Which one? Madeline Kahn?
Yeah, the German song. What is it? It doesn't matter.
I've been with thousands of men again and again.
That's it.
Yeah. I was thinking the one Dom DeLuise was directing at the end.
The one she's just talking about how much she takes.
Yeah, I was just a constant dick. I'm exhausted. All this dick I'm taking.
I'm so tired.
Again and again. Now the new look Brian and Monica Phelps are appearing at Blackburn's Cavendish Club this week, presenting a polished, graceful, and professional balancing act.
All right.
Brian says, we both quit the amateur world because of the farce officials make it. Now we do what we want, and we enjoy, and we get paid for it as well. The amateur officials governing sport in this country and the Olympics committees mainly just turn the whole thing into a vehicle for their own ego and status and couldn't really care less about the actual sportsman unless he wins some big awards.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this White Zinfandel. Well, good. Now put it down. We're going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles,
a big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud,
sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.
He was hip-hop's biggest mogul, the man who redefined fame, fortune, and the music industry.
The first male rapper to be honored on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Sean Diddy Combs.
Diddy built an empire and lived a life most people only dream about.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up.
But just as quickly as his empire rose, it came crashing down.
Today I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution.
I was up. I hit rock bottom, but I made no excuses. I'm disgusted. I'm so sorry.
Until you're wearing an orange jumpsuit, it's not real. Now it's real.
From his meteoric rise to his shocking fall from grace, from law and crime, this is the rise and fall of Diddy. Listen to the rise and fall of Diddy exclusively with Wondery Plus.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this White Zinfandel. Well, good. Now put it down. We're going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles,
a big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud,
sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.
At the Tokyo Olympics, Monica and myself were just about to get married. We had been engaged for several months, but the British officials wouldn't even let me go and watch her competing. Even if you win a medal, you still get treated like dirt, and you have to struggle to get any sort of decent training facilities and conditions. Now Brian tours the country doing cabaret performances with his wife and giving high diving demonstrations at seaside swimming pools. I guess right after they drop the horse into the water. He's next. See if he could beat the horse. Then Monica gives gymnastics displays.
Oh.
Monica said, I suppose we could go on doing this type of act for another 8 or 10 years, but we'll probably give up long before that so our daughter Erica can settle down properly when she starts school. Now he's got a kid. During the midnight show at the Cavendish this week, a midnight show.
What's that?
A show at fucking midnight.
Yeah.
Gee, they don't even do comedy shows at midnight
right
anymore. That's crazy.
10 o'clock.
Fuck. This week is the Kettering singer Barry Noble, one-time stand-in for Tom Jones.
Is that right?
And he just didn't have the cock to be Tom Jones.
Wasn't very unusual.
Nope. And Engelbert Humperdinck
Hell yeah.
on Tops of the Pops.
Jesus.
I've heard of them, but not him, so that's a problem.
Yeah.
November 26th, 1968. This is weird. Olympic diving star Brian Phelps to star in the title role of an aqua pantomime. Robinson Crusoe, they're going to do in the water.
What?
To be put on.
Mind?
Okay. I don't understand what's happening here. The show is being sponsored by Coventry City Council in conjunction with the producers, whatever. The Aqua Show has had a record-breaking season at the Pier Approach Baths in Bournemouth and is to tour the country. A spokesman for Coventry Baths said there would be 7 performances during the week, including a matinee at 5 p.m. on Saturday.
Nice.
Wow. The largest of the 3 pools will be used for the show, and the bath side will be used as a stage. Okay, now, 1971. So that's 68. 3 years go by. July 27th, 1971. Brian Phelps on theft charge.
Uh-oh.
Former Olympic diver Brian Phelps was remanded on bail until August 19th when he denied a shoplifting charge today.
Phelps. Did he do it?
I don't know. He's charged with stealing a jar of marmalade and a tin.
Was he Paddington Bear?
And
what?
A tin of salmon. He is a bear. He's a bear.
Marmalade and salmon.
Yeah.
Are you going to flood the subway too?
And he's going to steal your picnic basket while he's at it too.
What the fuck is he doing?
What is happening? That is great. And the 2 of them together worth 36.5p.
Pounds.
So no,
right.
pence.
Pence.
Less than 37 cents.
He's stealing nothing.
He was remanded on bail on his own recognizance. Why did he do that?
Marmalade and salmon?
Marmalade and a tin of salmon.
Canned salmon.
They don't go together.
No.
Neither of those things go
That
together.
is bear food. Was he trying to bait a bear at the
Maybe,
zoo?
so he could show him his dick. That's possible.
Yeah, they don't talk.
2 days later, he's cleared, though.
Mm-hmm.
All good.
He didn't take it.
Didn't take nothing.
Misunderstanding.
That's what it is. He was, they said he was accused of that, but he's all cleared up. Don't know why.
Thought he paid.
So then some years go by.
Yeah.
Okay, we got some years. December 19th, 1978, Brian Phelps joins in TV commentary.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, Brian Phelps, the Cockney kid who put Britain so gloriously on the diving map here.
Sure wish they'd say stop saying cock.
Cockney.
Yeah.
Cock out, not Cockney. Joins Alan Weeks in the what is this? Commentary. I thought that was a P in there. Commentary box at the Crystal Palace for international diving on BBC Two. Yeah. The specially arranged program celebrates Highgate Diving Club's Golden Jubilee, and ironically, it was the Highgate Club that first sparked juvenile Phelps' interest for the sport. Yeah. Terrific. Okay. March 3rd, 1982, diving champion Brian Phelps will be bringing his famous trampoline squad, giving demonstrations at 10 p.m. on the Wednesday. 10 p.m.? On a Wednesday?
And we're going to jump on trampolines at that night?
They go to shows late over there, man.
What time of year is that? That sounds cold, too. It's outside, right?
March 3rd. Yeah, it's dark.
It's chilly, yeah.
Yeah, and at 3 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. on Thursday. It's just random times.
Yeah.
We have one show at 3, another one at 10, just whenever.
One at 7. You don't know.
So Phelps went on to found OLGA Trampoline Club. Olga, with a capital letters. Right. It stands for something here. So with his wife, the club based in south of England has generated many international performers since its opening. Yeah. These include current coach Nigel Rendell, whose son Luke Rendell is a current international performer, and Tom and Hannah Lewis, both of whom have won major titles. Hannah's being the 2003 European Championships, with Tom's being the 2005 World Age Championships. This is a later thing, so a later article about this. Brian Camp, one of Phelps's main prodigies, performs regularly with the world's best. Another club member has been Claire Wright. Other Olga performances include Danielle Pietragallo. Oof, that's a long name. But it starts out just like mine, P-I-E-T-R.
Hey.
So I'm like, there we go.
Goose.
Strutz, then a S-Z-K-A. So we fucked it all up. Melissa, some other shit, and some other lady, I don't know. Okay. October 31st, 1982. A new life for Brian.
Here we go.
Look at the size of the goddamn print in the headline.
It's big.
Whatever happened to Brian Phelps is that 24 years after he won the European High Diving Championship, he's still only 38.
Golly.
Now he runs and has virtually built the most successful trampoline nursery in Britain.
A nursery?
He raises them from seedlings.
Yeah.
Little trampoline
Yeah.
bulbs until they come up to 10 footers. It's pretty good.
That's nutrients and water.
He's so good at it.
Yeah.
He's such a nurturer. Of the 6 national junior champions, under 11, 13, and 15, male and female, 4 come from the suburbs of Bournemouth that Phelps opened 4 years ago. So he's producing winners.
Yeah.
Heaven help the national seniors in another 4 years. So he's going to really kill it then. The peak of his diving career was so long ago it takes a middle name to recognize the name. Or it takes middle age to recognize the name.
Yeah.
Fame hit him worldwide at the age of 14 when he won the European title at Budapest in 1958. They go over his stuff here. There has long been an affinity between divers and trampolinists.
Has there?
Apparently so. And Brian Phelps soon demonstrated it when the first British trampoline champion were held at the RAF Strathmore in 1959. The 15-year-old Phelps won the boys and men's section. So he's always been a trampoliner. I guess because that's where he practices his flips.
You can flip real easy. If you can do it in air, you can do it on high dive.
He had it in his yard, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
So 4 years later at the BBC's annual Personality of the Year gathering, he first met the young national gymnastics champion Monica Rutherford. They were together again in Tokyo Olympics and have not been apart for very long since. Now, there are 2 little Phelpses, Erica and Mandy. Yeah. Erica won the Trampoline World Cup in 1980 and has mostly been out of contention since with back trouble. So I got that from Dad. Now she's fit again, and by no means as little as she used to be, which is good to see, but may not be the best shape for trampolining.
She's fit and thick.
They just said, she's growing some tits and trampolining. That's not what you want.
You got her some ass and hips. I kind of like it, but not for this tramp.
It ain't going to work for this. Yeah. When the 2 senior Phelpses were on the international competition, Monica became a teacher in Sunderland and has Brian a sales rep. It hit them one day what a waste it all was. A marriage of such expertise, such physical skill, and they weren't putting it to use. They created a cabaret act, all rippling bodies and balance and beauty, and hit the northern nightclub circuit with it. Then Brian came down to Bournemouth to star in the Summer Aqua Show, and the seeds of their future life were sown. High above Poole in the district of Parkstone, an alley slips down between a car showroom and a dry cleaner's. It leads to what used to be the warehouse, OLGA, reads the nameplate at the door. It used to be a warehouse, now it's OLGA. Olympic Leisure Gymnastics Arena.
Oh.
That's what that stands for. Proving that there's never such an inspiring name as Corbett's in this business. Okay. Yeah. The warehouse has been transformed, changing rooms, a kitchen, waiting room, and steps up to the business side of the premises. Parents are not admitted except by prior arrangement.
What?
I don't like that.
This man was accused.
Well, yes.
That's not nice. You can't do that.
And then they go on to say, some eyebrows rise at first sight of that news.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mothers, said Brian Phelps. Mothers are terrific, but perhaps not when you're working with their children.
Dude.
When you want your dick out. Yeah, that's bad. There are 300 members of the Olga, and they pay on a sliding scale down to 75p an hour accordingly to the number of hours a week they come. In term time, classes start with the 2 o'clock toddlers, and the ages rise as the day runs to evening. There's no doubt that they enjoy it, but they are not there to play. Monica takes the gym classes, a striking figure with a commanding voice. She might have been fodder for the late Joyce Greenfield's satire, were she not so blazingly good at what she does. Quote, now we're all going to sit down with our legs wide apart, she says. I can't with this. I can't. Get your mothers out of here and spread your legs. What the fuck?
Now we're going to put mouths on each other.
It gets worse. And what do we do? And what do we call that? The straddle. That's right. Jesus, it gets worse. Everybody say it louder than that. Straddle. And then she says, good. Felicity, you're not going to learn much if you watch The Boys all the time, are you? She's like, well, you got my legs spread. What do you want?
Well, I'm really uncomfortable right now.
This is disturbing.
I feel insecure. I'm looking at the boys because I don't want them to look at me.
I think they're looking at my fucking...
my everything's out,
my
ma'am.
Indentations here. Before your eyes, the little darlings grow suppler.
What?
Supple? What? No. This is... Do you not read what you write after you write it?
You can't say what you're saying.
You can't say children are supple. That is the creepiest thing I've ever fucking heard.
Do they also grow fertile?
The little darlings grow suppler and bend lower.
Golly.
And bounce higher and love every minute of it. This is disgusting.
I want to go home.
This is terrifying. Dude,
I don't like this
I think I'm checking out of this episode right now. This is horrifying. And love every minute of it. There are 5 instructors. As one age group marches out, another comes in and the instructors change. Brian says, ones who like that age group.
It sounds like a revolving door of fucking.
Yeah, of molesting.
Yeah.
Brian stays with the trampolines, gradually weaning the kids from playful bouncing to disciplined accuracy required of free-bound tumblers.
Okay.
He's probably the only professional trampoline coach in this country, and Olga has made them a good living. Its success has been astonishing. In the National Gymnastics Championship, they qualified nearly twice as many performers as any other club in the country and won twice as many medals.
They're doing great.
Brian said, we've got some kids here.
Yeah.
Yes, you do. That one, for instance, and that one, who are going to be among the very best gymnasts Britain has seen. We've got excellent equipment here and a good hall and a bloody marvelous teacher. I mean, look at her. Now we're going to make a sandwich, said Monica, and a dozen tots were riveted. She had them bent double on the floor, legs straight out in front, chins on knees, somewhere in that direction. Jenny's done this before, hasn't she? See how far, oh my God, see how far she's got down? Now I could sit on her bottom and have my tea, couldn't I? And so she did.
Oh, boy.
Don't touch, don't put your tea near kids' asses, please. Brian was not on the bottom sitting bit, not in on the bottom sitting bit. When his boys came in, the best there are in the business, there was an ease of rapport between them that said much. Training a champion means more than just sharpening his pikes and tucks. He's got to learn about his dick, too.
Yeah.
The man said, we're trying to be mothers to them. There are times, I think, when we know more about their problems than their parents do. On such trust is true success built.
Sure.
Trust. They trust this man. 1984 trampoline titles for the Olga champion.
Yeah.
They're crushing it. They're getting all sorts of people here. 25 Olga trampolinists qualified for the championships as a result of the open championships held throughout the country. Olga dominated the championships. 21 children qualified for the afternoon finals, and most gained an award.
Crushing it.
Jesus, they're doing great there.
Yeah.
Not bad at all. The club was it was also dominated by the under 11 boys event. 7 out of the 10 finalists came from Olga. That's Brian's kids there. Yeah. Robert Thorne, aged 8, the youngest competitor in the event, narrowly missed the final, but did extremely well to finish 11th. Olga took the team title with ease. They showed all the different guys. Mandy Phelps, that's their kid, took the under-13 title in style, while Rachel Northern took a bronze, and Paula Savage and Helen Frewer's performances alongside Mandy and Rachel's gave Olga another clear victory in the team event. So they're doing great. They're just doing great. 1990, May 21st. This is kind of catching up with everybody here. Here they are now. This is Monica and Brian now. See their picture?
A little older, yeah.
A little older. Yeah. He looks like a creep. He looks like he owns a Greek diner. Yeah. That's what he looks like.
His arms look incredible.
Oh, he's jacked.
And he is, Jesus, that's a 35, almost 40-year-old man, huh?
Yeah, now he is. Yeah, 1990. Christ, he's 46.
Wow.
Yeah.
He looks fucking great.
He's a professional athlete. So this is an article in the Evening Standard in the Whatever Happened To section.
Seems to be doing fine.
No, coming to terms with all the ups and downs is the title here. Monica takes the gym, and I take the trampoline classes. And the funny thing is we get as much a kick out of the children's success now as we got out of our own success, says Brian, 46, a grandfather. Jesus.
46 grandfather.
Grandfather. Yeah, they had kids early. Naturally, everyone wonders who's the boss. The answer is neither of us really, meaning him and his wife. We don't step on each other's toes, but together we make a fantastic team. Okay. Of course, it's important to have the right partner. We've been married 25 years in July. There'll be a big family razzle then because my mom and dad celebrate their 50th anniversary 3 days ago. My first lesson, I learned to swim the hard way. Some yabo pushed me in. Yabo? Y-O-B-B-O.
Isn't that a boob?
Yabo. Yobo? I've never, it could be anything.
I thought yabo was boob.
I thought it was dick. It could be anything.
Some dick.
Some dick, maybe.
Some asshole.
Pushed me in when I was 6, and I managed to struggle to the side. That's how it all started. Swimming lessons.
What? Somebody just pushed him in and walked away?
That's how we talked about it in Your Stupid Opinions. That's how everybody learned to swim.
Used to do,
They throw you in, and they go, air is up.
But you got to stick around.
Air's that way.
Yeah.
He said, yes, I still go to the pool, but I don't get the same turn on from diving. On. My favorite was always the handstand somersault. I've had 10s for that. Now I get frustrated. I can no longer do the things I used to do. Okay. He said, all of our old trophies are on show at Olga and as encouragement to their children, Mandy and Erica, 23 and 18 at this point. Jesus. They said, who cleans the cups? No one. The trick is the glass case they're kept in is hermetically sealed so they don't tarnish. Oh, meaning their trophies. Autograph collectors around the world send me stamp-addressed envelopes for my signature. But let's be frank. In the eyes of the young ones, I'm a has-been. Mind you, a pretty fit has-been. I'm 5'8", 11 stone, 8 pounds. Haven't any surplus flesh on me. That's the weirdest way I've ever heard I'm not fat said.
What does 11 stone mean? How much is that?
We figured that out before.
Did we?
Remember? Yeah, we figured it out. I can't remember what the hell it was. We've done it like 7 times since we've
all right.
in the show.
It's 154 pounds. So what are they?
Boxers.
What is it?
With boxers, we figured it out.
15 pounds almost, a stone? 13?
15 times 11 is not 150, I don't think.
It's close, right?
Yeah, it's close because by times 10.
It's like 100, it's like 13
plus
pounds.
8 pounds. Yeah. I don't know. So he says, I'm in better shape now than when I was diving in the Olympics. Mm-hmm. It was either that or going to seed. I was nearly 40 when we opened the health club downstairs for the children's parents to work out. Might as well. That's a good business move there. That's pretty smart. And I was becoming soft around the middle. Now I've even won bodybuilding awards.
Okay.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, his biceps look great.
No shit. He said, when I left school at 16, my last report said, very capable if he works. And I guess I proved that to be the case. But I still have bags of ambition I want to travel next. Bags. Sacks of ambition. I've already been all over the world, but I've missed out before. I didn't really see much. At 16, 17, 18, I didn't give a monkey's for the ruins of Pompeii. A monkey's?
I guess a monkey's ass. But he just skips the
monkey's
ass
dick. I was more interested in finding a nice bit of skirt and some East German or Russian diver that I fancied.
Boy.
I was chasing skirt. That's what I was doing.
I was busy getting laid.
Now I'm older, more mature, and I reckon the time has come for me to take some of the scenery as well, which he probably Jesus Christ, he probably got laid a ton. He didn't have any, all he had was underwear on. He's just walking around strutting himself.
Yeah, you could see the whole cock.
Jesus Christ, all outlined here.
Yeah.
So anyway, November 5th, 1996.
That's a big headline.
Swimmers marooned in storm.
Oh, no.
This isn't good. Birmingham's leading swimming club is counting the cost of Hurricane Lily after they were forced to spend 3 days marooned on Jersey.
Why didn't they just swim in a pool?
Or shit, you were marooned. That means you're the best swimmers. Yeah. You can swim your way out of this. Perry Beaches swimmers. Perry Beaches is a man, by the way. B-E-E,
is that right?
Beaches with E's. Were stranded on the island after the storm prevented the hydrofoil from sailing, leaving them 2,000 pounds out of pocket as they ran up additional hotel bills. Coach Brian Phelps said, "We turned up to get the hydrofoil back home, and they told us it had been canceled because of the weather. The ferry wasn't leaving either, and luckily the hotel allowed us to rebook. The kids obviously thought it was great. They were getting time off school, but it wasn't such a good news for some of the adults who had to explain why they were having time off work." Sure. Yeah. Now, I'm stuck on an island. Fuck you want from me?
I can't go anywhere.
Yeah. And there were even worse news for Pauline Jackson, one of the mums on the trip. Quote, "We took the children roller skating, and she had a go, only she broke her wrist in the process." Jesus Christ. So they got stuck on an island. Yeah. February 3rd, 1999. There's an article, Heroes of the Millennium. Look at this. There he is, a hero.
He's got to celebrate everybody from the last 100 years.
Britain's greatest diver of all time. He was an Olympic bronze medalist at the Rome Olympics in 60 and won the gold in 62 and 66 at Commonwealth Games. Essex-born Phelps was the youngest ever European champion in 1958. In all, he's won 14 national titles. There we go. January 10th, 2008.
Okay.
Now it's on.
Years later. Yeah.
Former Olympic diver accused of sex attacks on 2 girls.
Sex attacks.
Sex attacks. Let's find out about how old they are.
What they do.
Okay. Yeah. Brian Phelps won a gold medal or bronze medal, blah, 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 has been accused of assaulting girls aged between 6 and 15.
Why?
Over a 10-year period.
Oh, boy.
From 1976 on. Okay. He was remanded in custody. He's 63 now. Jesus Christ, that is fucking... He's also a well-known diving commentator for Eurosport.
Mm-hmm. This is 30 years ago.
This is crazy. Yeah, in 1980, his daughter Erica, then age 12, won a silver medal. He won. I don't care about that.
No, is it her?
No. In court yesterday, Mr. Phelps made no application for bail. He was charged with 4 counts of rape against one girl and the attempted rape of a second girl. He's also been accused of 19 counts of indecent assault and 19 counts of gross indecency.
It's certainly gross.
The assaults are alleged to have taken place when he was working as a gymnast and trampoline instructor.
Wow.
Yeah. Remember the other when he was showing his dick to 14-year-olds and all that?
Yeah.
Okay. There's a weird thing here, and obviously this is I'm just going to put this out there. I was just reading an article where a psychologist was talking about Leonardo DiCaprio and saying why he only fucks 23-year-olds. Yeah. And they said he got famous when he was 23.
Yeah.
That's when Titanic blew up. And that was
his best life.
They said, so that people often that are famous get stuck in the time they were first famous.
Yeah.
That was when he was 14. So for him, these are the girls that he looked at when he was 14. I'm not saying that's an excuse or anything like that. I'm saying that's some weird perverted thing that people have.
Yeah.
Where they're disturbed. Luckily for us, no one knew shit about us till we were 42 years old, so it's great. We'll only show our dicks to older women.
There's also a
middle-aged ladies.
There's also there's a trauma too that a lot of people that are like sexually perverted have, and that's a very common thing too. Like if your perversion happens when you're 8, sometimes they just frozen there and they see those people as their peers. It's
disturbing.
Fucked. You can be 65, look at an 8-year-old and be like,
and you're 8.
Let's talk.
That's creepy.
We're the same, buddy.
Fuck, dude.
That's so wild.
Yeah, they just didn't develop,
and they don't get it.
They don't. I
think that's what Crystalia's problem is too.
There's a brain thing. Yeah, there's a brain thing there with that. That's a problem.
I'm convinced of it.
That's possible. Yeah. I just don't think I think he doesn't want to admit that he's fucking old now.
There's that too.
I think that makes him.
But I've seen
He's a creep.
I know things about him from his childhood, and he was a fucking dork.
He's a dork. Yeah.
And now he can, and he did this shit so that he could get laid, and now he can, and he wants to fuck the girls that would never fuck him.
Now, Brian also coming up in swimming.
Yeah.
We don't know what happened to him either.
No idea.
He's hanging around with a bunch of older guys in the 50s when he wouldn't have said anything.
Right.
In his underwear all the time.
Yeah, you can see it.
Again, not an excuse, but reasons for
the bulges there.
Why this might have happened. But you have to go, hey, I didn't like that. Why would I do that to other people?
And it's fascinating that, I mean, you've come to the conclusion of Boy Scout leaders going, boys in the woods, I'll do it. We should be questioning that guy.
It's weird that perverts tend to just run to opportunities to be around children.
To volunteer. And
clergy, fucking pastors, coaches, all these people that work with children, that's where perverts are drawn. Not that only perverts are drawn.
True.
But perverts are also drawn to that.
If you're going to host that or be a part of that, you better have a vetting process that is second to none.
If you have a pond, it's going to bring fish, and that's also going to breed mosquitoes.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's going to breed good things and bad things.
Let's possibly vet that better than, I don't know, vice presidents that run.
Yeah, anything.
Any candidate for anything. Just vet them harder than them if they're going to be around kids. That's
I would
crazy.
say. Yeah, whoever the fuck, whatever agents, I don't give a shit. Yeah. So, anyway, January 18th.
Yeah.
2000. He's a fucking mess, dude.
Truly.
So now he's sitting in jail, remanded.
Yeah,
and
he's not
even asking for bail.
Right. He's not looking for a defense at all right now. He wants this to be. Just wants this to go away.
And it's crazy because out of everybody, we haven't heard anything from his wife here or anything like that. There's only one guy who has his back.
Who's that?
There's only one guy who has his back, and he's sitting in his jail cell and. Here he comes. The door swings open, and here he is. And it's Vince McMahon.
Oh, thank God.
Former CEO and everything else at WWE, and now just an old pervert. And he says...
I thought you figured a Crystal Lee impression.
No. What would that be? Tell a bad joke and then message a teenager? And he says... How is it you've come to arrive here? These people, they don't understand. They don't get it.
No.
You were just being friendly.
Right.
Only I understand. See, I get it. I've been there.
Have you seen my documentary?
I've been there, see? See, what you need to do is the statute of see what I said is the statute of limitations up. I said, you have to do what I say and say, even if it was rape, the statute of limitations we're well past that
now.
You
have to figure what the
figure
years
in
are.
there. But either way, I'd like to give you my card. I'm starting a new company, and I could really use some fellas like you in there with me. It's great. We have orgies, and it's in the office. We tag team each other. There's another guy.
Trampoline wrestling.
It's a new company, and I'd like you to be the just kind of run
face of it.
I'd like you to bring up the youngsters is what I'd like you to do in my company. And
teach them.
I have an appointment. I have to go. I'm sorry. But when you get out, definitely give me a call. And then poof, in a cloud of 1099s and lawsuits.
And other people's sweat.
And other people's sweat, blood, and tears. And fucking mental capacity. Pow. He disappears. Now, January 18th, 2008. Don't forget about his brother, by the way.
Who's that?
Well, the brother of him, John Phelps, 55, was quizzed by detectives investigating historical sex abuse allegations.
Quizzed. That's a gross quiz.
Yeah.
I don't want to pass that quiz.
He got arrested, too. He's now released on bail. His arrest comes 8 days after his brother Brian was also arrested. So this was a team effort.
Right. Tag team.
He was accused of 4 counts of rape, as we said. Brian. Wow. Magistrates heard how Brian Phelps had returned from his retirement home in France to face the charges. Prosecutors objected to bail, and he was remanded in custody.
He knew too many answers to that quiz.
I would fucking say so. This is
gross.
I don't even know what to say about this.
It's a family affair.
The spotlight has fallen on his brother, a former bodybuilder and weightlifter who ran Shapes Fitness Club and Bodybuilding Center in Poole with his wife Rosie.
Wow.
The super fit former Olympic squad canoeist and sprint race canoeist, there's Olympic canoeing?
I guess.
Was arrested in Poole on Thursday morning. February 6, 2008, Olympian faces new indecency charges.
Second.
This isn't good. This is bad. An Olympic diving star and former pool gym owner appeared in court to face new charges of abuse. He was charged with 6 counts of indecently assaulting a girl under 14 and 1 count of gross indecency between 1975 and 80. This, he faces 43 charges, including rape, indecent assault, gross indecency, and gross is a good word there.
Yeah, it is.
And attempted rape, dating back to 1976 and 1986.
He's been horny for children his whole life?
Oh, my God.
Or is this all children, or is there
these are all kids.
Oh, my God.
This is all people under 14. This is between 6 and 14. These are children. He has a type.
Yeah.
And they're very, very little.
Yeah.
The father of 2 had been living, that's disturbing, in Laval-Besnot, France, or Besnot, France, but is currently in the HMP Dorchester. Not as nice.
Yeah, a little bit.
Just hours before yesterday's court appearance, his brother was charged with 2 rapes and 9 indecent assaults. The historical, quote-unquote, sex abuse charges relate to 4 alleged victims between 78 and 93. The father of 2 also ran a gym. Holy shit. He was released on bail, though, the brother.
Really?
It's a lot of rape.
Yeah.
Wow. April 16th, 2008. Former Olympic medalist admits sex abuse allegations.
He's just going to take it on the chin. And
he's
go.
old.
Yeah.
A former Olympic diver cleared more than 40 years ago of indecently exposing himself to a teenage girl in a Northeast swimming baths has admitted a catalog of abuse, including children as young as 6. You piece of shit.
Yikes.
Brian, oh my, what the fuck? He said he finally admitted in court yesterday, more than 3 decades after he molested his first victim.
Golly.
Fuck. Now, oh my God. His attorney in mitigation asked for preparation of pre-sentence reports, and the judge adjourned sentencing. This is disturbing. The offenses took place over a 10-year period from the mid-'70s, from when Phelps's victims were between 6 and 16. Following an initial complaint stemming from just one victim, the extensive press coverage led to other victims coming forward who'd been subjected to similar offenses in similar circumstances. This enabled us to establish Phelps's full criminality.
This is like a British Weinstein.
This is going on forever. This is British Cosby, but worse, these are children. That's the difference.
Right. It's
Weinstein was at least molesting adult actresses for the most part. They weren't 6 anyway.
I mean, British Nasser.
Yeah. There you go, Larry Nasser, because he's a coach. It's perfect for that. So May 16th, 2008, Pervert jailed is the headline. Shamed Olympic diving star, now he is, that's his headline name, was jailed on Thursday for, you, sir, may fuck off, 9 years in prison.
What?
That is are you out of your mind? 9 years?
I guess that gives him 9 years to kill him. What are they? I don't understand what that is.
He's 64, but still, after admitting a shocking catalog of child sex abuse offenses.
9 years.
That is insane.
He did it longer than that. You know what I mean?
His first victim he molested was 6, he said.
Yeah.
6.
How old was he?
This was in the 70s.
God
he was over 30.
Golly.
Not 7, put it that way.
Yeah.
Not in elementary school.
Right. Yeah.
Above the 3rd grade.
Holy
so I would say,
fuck, man.
That is disturbing.
So his that first run-in with the flashing,
absolutely true, happened.
Yeah.
You know it happened
for sure. But I mean, he'd been doing it so many times before, and gradually eased into actually touching him. That's fucked up, and he got away with it.
And the best part is the next line of this article is silver-haired Phelps, 65. That couldn't be. I didn't write that.
Couldn't be more.
It couldn't be more perfect.
Accurate. Yeah.
Pleaded guilty to 25 indecent assaults and 17 gross indecency offenses from the mid-'70s involving 3 young girls.
Goddamn.
Oh, man. They heard how the father of 2 had abused 2 victims in his gym, having sex with one in the basement. He wasn't just...
What?
He was actually... This is...
Wow.
He told her, quote, "It's our little secret." Giving her chocolate after molesting her in his car and in the woods. He took this poor girl in the woods, molested her, and then said, "Here's some fucking chocolate."
Yikes.
9 years? Are you kidding me?
Yikes.
Just for the chocolate, you should get an extra 5.
Just for the bribery and the attempt and the piss poor. What an asshole, man. This is terrible.
This poor kid said it was a way of life. It went on for so long it became the norm. That's horrifying. Horrifying. The prosecutor said that the abuse stopped just after the girl's 16th birthday. You know, when it became
when she
legal.
grew up.
When it became legal in England for him to actually have. So he's like, oh, that's no fun. I just don't get the same buzz.
When she looked like his wife.
When I can't be arrested. Yeah. Oh, God, that's fucked up, man. She had become an emotional wreck and hated Phillips with a vengeance, she said. The court was told how Phelps, not Phillips, who returned from his retirement home in France, had abused his second victim from the age of 6, telling her, you know I love you, don't you?
Boy.
You piece of shit. His third victim was also molested from the age of 6. That's when he starts with them.
Yeah.
So that's that.
What's their spot?
He's got a fucking...
He's got a threshold of when they're good.
When
they got a shelf life.
When he's most manipulative over them, and then he does it for years.
Probably do it earlier if they'd understand what he's saying.
That's what I mean. And then for 10 years he does it till they age out for him. Wow. Her third victim, that's disgusting. Phelps told police he was a high-caliber sportsman and an awesome character who had struggled with the pressure of his early success.
Right.
Estimating that he had coached 280,000 children, Phelps described himself as a bit of a sex addict. And then this is the part that makes me want to fly to England and fucking drown this guy in his prison cell toilet. He told detectives the girls never said no or to stop.
Wow, man. They can't. They don't know what they're doing.
No, it was totally consensual when they're 6 and I'm 40. That's totally normal. What a piece of shit. Please don't isolate that.
I can't believe he said that.
What the fuck? Defense barrister Ian Ross said he regards this period of his life as very shameful. I'd fucking hope so. For 20 years or so after these events, he worked blamelessly. He really has touched the lives of, but don't say that. He's touched the lives of many children, but now realizes he has to pay for what he's done.
Lives ain't the only thing.
Wow.
Good God.
The judge described his offenses as horrific.
Yeah.
He told Phelps, what you did to those 3 young girls was almost as terrible and horrible sexually as you can imagine, short of rape. With the other girl, he did rape some of them. He was banned from ever working with children again and must register as a sex offender also. The prosecutor said that the guilty pleas saved the victims from having to testify and over. That's why he got less.
But 9 years, man.
That's nothing.
They should give him more for him not.
Should give him more for exposing himself to those other two. We're tacking that on,
let's
too.
Let's reopen that.
Wow. The prosecutor said no sentence will make up for the lifetime of suffering his victims have had to endure. Mm-hmm. Man, Phelps's former employer, Borough of Poole, confirmed that unsubstantiated allegations had been made against him in 1999, which is almost 10 years earlier than this.
Yeah, but also like 20 years after the other ones.
Yeah. When the new information was received in September 2003, a joint protection inquiry was launched with Dorset Police.
Okay.
And a spokesman said British Gymnastics was formally advised of the allegations of the organization and instigated its own child protection procedures. Phelps was suspended from British Gymnastics in 2004 and immediately barred from Rossmore Leisure Center. Well, never mind 9 years. He's banned from the Leisure Center.
Not allowed at the Leisure Center anymore.
Prior to a formal disciplinary hearing by British Gymnastics, Phelps resigned from the organization in March 2004. So this has been bubbling for 10 years. Yep. This was bubbling while they had an article saying sportsman of the century.
And he knew.
Holy shit. So he is a fucking
terrible person.
Piece of guy.
Yeah.
Those girls, you can't feel bad enough for those girls. You know what I mean? What about his kids?
Goddamn.
We don't know if he touched them or not, but even if he didn't, they have to feel fucking awful.
Yes.
You would feel awful if you were the same age as the kids your dad was teaching and he was molesting them. Yeah. You would feel fucking terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel bad for all these people, Jimmy.
Yeah.
But not nearly as bad as I feel for Brian Phelps, an American radio personality and occasional actor, best known for the nationally syndicated Mark and Brian morning show.
Oh, he's the Mark and Brian guy?
Who the fuck is that? You know who that is?
I do know who Mark and Brian are.
What is that?
They used to. They do fucking morning zoo shit.
Ugh.
Yeah.
So they're
Mark and Brian.
Insufferable douchebags, is what you're telling me?
I think they used to be in
they're
Phoenix.
Not still doing it, are they?
I don't know. One of them, I think, got maybe. Let me make sure.
Oh,
I think
God.
one of them got a DUI here.
Wow, that is
yeah.
Nothing I hate more than morning radio
it's the
people.
Right one.
That's the fucking worst.
It's definitely them, dude.
You know it is. It's Brian Wayne Phelps.
Yeah, and they were here.
Oh my God. He attended college.
Holy
in Normal,
fuck,
Illinois.
they look crazy. Look at their
1996.
face.
Yeah, they look like morning zoo assholes.
They look
That's
like
exactly what they look
Yep,
like.
That's exactly it.
The enormous popularity of his radio show has given Phelps several opportunities to branch out in other entertainment media. In 1991-1992, he and Thompson hosted a short-lived NBC TV series, The Adventures of Mark and Brian, based on the radio show. He's also appeared in several motion pictures, notably Jason Goes to Hell, The Final Friday, The Princess Diaries, also made numerous TV guest appearances, including the role of Reverend Gig LaCarp on Comedy Central's show Reno 911. He's on Reno fucking 911.
Oh my God, you know who he is?
Yeah, I know exactly who he is.
He is the goddamn preacher.
He's the, yes.
Yes.
Oh my God.
He's the preacher that locks him in. That's
that guy. Well, he's very good on that.
He's very good at being a piece of shit.
He's very good on that, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay. Well, you know what? He's good on that. I'll give him that.
He may be.
I hate Morning Zoo, but that's decent. And he didn't molest any kids that we know of. So, you know what? Let's give him a pass.
Yeah.
You're fine, Brian.
But they're not friends anymore.
No.
And the career's over.
Well, he's also like 67 years old or
he's an
something,
old man,
so 65. Brian Phelps, also manager, data scientist, and analytics at Group M in Stamford, Connecticut. Okay. And also Brian Phelps, CMAA, director of athletics. At Indian Hill Exempted Village School District. This guy works with kids.
So many kids.
Oh, God. He's like, it's not
It's not me. I didn't
swear,
do it.
Don't Google me. If you do, make sure you put American
Yeah.
Brian Phelps. Not
Teacher.
I went to Xavier. I didn't, none of that shit. Yikes. February 17th, 2023. Gymnastics historical sex abuse case. Survivors claims catastrophic failures.
What?
They talk about. He admitted a string of all this shit. However, one girl who they're just her fake name here, Emma, whose name the BBC has changed to protect her identity, claims there are at least 12 further victims.
Good Lord.
Including herself. Talking to BBC Sport, Emma revealed how in the mid-70s, from the age of 5, she was raped and molested by Phelps at the trampolining gym he ran with his wife, Monica.
Golly.
I hope his wife stabs him when he gets out of this shit just for fucking doing this while she was on property.
Knew, you bitch.
That is horrible, too. Then it's a team effort.
Yeah.
It's even more disgusting.
Yeah.
Then it's a conspiracy. Then it's even grosser.
Yeah.
Wow, that is gross. The British gymnastics affiliated gym then moved to a new premises and was renamed Olga. Emma says the abuse continued in a basement room. She said they called the basement Happyland.
No!
God damn it.
Why would they call it that?
God, it's worse than BTK in Disneyland. This is disgusting.
Why did they do that?
At least he was tying himself up and jerking off. This is horrifying.
They gave it a
It gets worse. There were Disney characters painted on the walls there, including the characters from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. They
painted a mural for you to distract them.
He made it as comfortable as it could be for kids because he knew he was going to fucking torture them down there. That is disgusting. What a fucking piece of shit. What an utter and complete pile of fucking excrement this guy is.
He made them hate Disney, man.
I think they would hate it after that.
I would never want to watch anything
No, if
Disney.
you hear Small World, you're going to snap and start murdering people. Yeah. Jesus Christ. That's Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, all right. Horrific things happen there, she says, quote unquote, or quote, keep going. Every element of the worst that can happen to a little girl when they're in the hands of a pedophile. I think a little part of your soul when something like that brutal happens breaks off. Emma told police of her abuse in the early 90s.
Yeah.
They've known about
they
this.
They didn't do anything.
Wow. While she was suffering from anorexia, but didn't feel strong enough to press charges. I guess she didn't press, but she shouldn't have to press charges.
It's not her
He did this.
Yeah.
We got it from here. We'll check it out.
We'll handle it.
Yeah. We will tie him to a fucking board and put a hot poker up to his nuts till he admits this.
When she claimed it,
wow.
Happyland still existed. They should have just gone.
They should have just gone
right
right
see
there.
if Happyland exists.
Let's see it. But she said the recent exposure of the mistreatment in the sport, plus the White Review investigation of systemic physical and emotional abuse in gymnastics, made her feel empowered to speak out. She's in touch with lawyers and considering legal action to compel British Gymnastics to compensate her for years of therapy, plus fund a center for abuse survivors.
Right.
Emma added, there were catastrophic failures across multiple institutions that contributed to what happened to us. At the county level, obviously British Gymnastics, everyone else who should have been regulating what was happening at the time.
Right.
It's now about redirecting the deep, deep shame that exists within ourselves as trauma survivors back into where it belongs, which is everyone who was complicit in all the things that happened to us.
Oh, boy.
Jesus. British Gymnastics told the BBC it was, quote, truly sorry for any abuse that had taken place in the sport.
Oh, well, that's good.
And said that Emma has received extensive one-to-one support from its safeguarding team over several months. Oh, well, that's great.
Well, thank God.
30 years too late.
Yeah.
Wonderful. It added, our Reform 25 action plan, meaning year 2025, sets out how we've learned from the past, including working with survivors and developing a restorative support in the next 2 years. Right. Phelps told the BBC he absolutely denies all allegations made against him by Emma and said he did not even enter the basement. He said in 2008, the child protection team sought out lots of children who were closely associated with me through sport, looking for victims who had, quote, slipped through the net with zero response.
What?
He's now denying that shit. You fuck off. Wow. Emma,
80 counts?
Yeah. But not her.
Okay.
Yeah. Emma was 12 when she told her parents she couldn't keep going to the gym. But it wasn't until 2008 when Phelps admitted 42 counts of historical indecent assault and gross indecency against 3 children aged between 6 and 15. She realized she wasn't his only victim. He was put on the sex offenders registry for life and charged with rape and attempted rape, but denied it. Oh, my God. This is disturbing. They said that in 1979, a finalist in the BBC's hit show Superstars, more accusations were made about Phelps' conduct in the 90s, but no action was taken. It wasn't until 3 women came forward in 2003 that he was suspended from gymnastics for the following year and eventually sentenced 4 years later. Despite the association with a convicted pedophile, the Olga Gym brand has continued to operate in the pool area.
What?
With a second venue opening in 2006, both run by everyone active in association with Bournemouth, Christchurch, and Pool Council. Okay. What? Emma said, what was it like to know that it was still going? Horrific. What was it like to see them expanding? Brutal. It felt like they kept alive the celebrity element of the brand and just buried the horrible part.
Yeah, I mean,
that's hurt.
Horrible. I mean, a church is running it.
No. Christchurch is a place.
It's a different thing.
Yeah. Okay. Like in New Zealand, yeah. Christ. Yeah, it's not an actual church. I was going to say, if you put a church into it, now you're just...
Now it's extra. Now it's extra gross.
Yeah, now you're just fucking directing fish into a shark's mouth at this point. This is insane. This is bad shit. BCB Council and everyone active told the BBC that with the help of British Gymnastics, they're now in the process of changing the name, uniforms, and branding. We'll rebrand it. All good now. Wow. In a joint statement, they said, Olga Pool has a long legacy, but also a history which continues to have an adverse resonance for some of its former members many years later. Understatement. Yeah. We fully understand the impact that the continued use of the original name would have. We do not underestimate the seriousness of the situation and are working closely with everyone involved to make the transition to the new name as smooth as possible. How about just make sure no one fucks any kids?
That'd be great.
That would be what you need to do. There's nothing historical about Olga for us. People have no idea long-term effects of child sexual abuse. This is Emma talking. And other things that were happening within gymnastics. The way we were just taught to ignore pain and suffering and just take it on the chin and suck it up.
Don't say that. No. Either of those two things.
I think she did that on purpose,
did
though.
She?
Yeah, because I think that's what it is. I think she's saying that when you're hurt, when you're they tell these kids no matter what's going on, you fall, hit your head, get up, do it again.
Okay.
No complaining. Yeah. No, that's what they tell these kids. Just do it again, do it better.
Those two phrases are terrible.
Oh, they're terrible. But I think that's what they just lumped being molesting in with that.
In this
it's
tough
fucking horrifying. Yeah. That's gross. She said, putting it all together, that completely alters the trajectory of our lives.
Okay.
And all that is
gross.
The review said the difficulties now facing British Gymnastics, the sport's national governing body, are born of inadequate practice and procedure and reflect a culture which was the product of the way in which people were allowed to behave.
Yeah.
February 21st, 2023. Sexual predator Brian Phelps walks free.
What?
But the former trampolining coach's sickening crimes against children escape attention because it's not football. That's the fucking article. It's the swagger of Brian Phelps which takes your breath away and reveals how the perpetrators of a sport's most unspeakable crimes have so much in common. The charismatic former Olympic diver was engaged in the routine sexual assault of young girls at the gym he'd set up when he gave several interviews to promote the place in the 80s. He joked with one interviewer about how, when younger, he enjoyed finding a nice bit of skirt. Remember we found that?
Wow, he was molesting children at that time.
It was a little skirt.
God dang.
Some little East German or Russian diver that I fancied. He told another that parents were not welcome in the gym. Remember we read that? Mothers are terrific, he said, but perhaps not when you're working with their children. When some of the girls he abused became women and testified to his crimes, he was charged with multiple rape and indecent assault charges. His brother John, a former Olympic squad canoeist turned predatory gym owner, got 12 similar crimes. They were sentenced together. Anyone who has followed the case of Barry Bennell, the football pedophile, whose name is a byword for predatory abuse. Not on this side of the pond. That's weird.
The football pedophile.
Football pedophile. That's a good title to have.
Yeah.
We'll discern some chilling parallels here. Phelps, just like Bennell, basked in publicity and paraded a charisma which left his parents unaware or left in denial that he was actually abusing their children. He boasted about his physique. I haven't any surplus flesh on me, he told one interviewer. Yeah. He entered bodybuilding competitions. He even commented on diving for the BBC's grandstand whilst doing his abusing.
Right.
Yet there's significant difference between these two serial abusers. It's when we come to public awareness that the paths of Phelps and Bennell diverge. The prominence of football in our public life helped generate justifiable outrage about Bennell when his victims found strength in numbers and bravely stepped up to testify in 2016. He was brought back to court and sent down for 30 years.
Boy, oh boy.
Not so Phelps. We were hardly back in the dark ages when he admitted 42 charges of sexual assault, 2008, yet his conviction elicited few paragraphs or nothing at all in most national newspapers. Even the devastating interview that one of Phelps' alleged victims gave to the BBC's Natalie Perks last week did not exactly bring wall-to-wall coverage. That victim's testimony was shattering. She spoke of girls like her being raped and molested by Phelps in a gym basement room called Happyland decorated with Disney characters. Experienced officials say there will be many more cases to bring against Phelps than there will be many more cases than the number that he was convicted of. Right. That's how these patterns of behavior work. They said, quote, there will be countless victims of Phelps out there not seeing justice, one former senior detective tells us. With Bennell, it gained traction because it was football. But if others are able to make themselves known, this might also do. It's not too late. Judges have become more accepting of ambiguity in their summing of these cases. There's an acceptance that not every detail can be recalled 40 years ago. Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially when you're 6.
Yeah.
Jesus. But agreeing to press charges entails an ordeal of testifying, and it's impossible to ignore the gender issue here. The victims are almost exclusively women. Conviction rates for rape are desperately low, 0.1%. Jesus. Is that everywhere?
I believe it's pretty low here.
0.1%?
I don't know if it's that low, but I know that it's very low.
0.1 is...
That's almost none.
1 out of 1,000. That's incredible.
It's almost none.
Yeah, that can't be. I hope not. Jesus.
I know it's low, though.
It's definitely low, but 0.1. The obfuscation from British gymnastics in this realm has hardly given any women much optimism, for the establishment is actually on their side. It's nearly a year since a devastating report by Ann White laid bare the governing body's failure to deal with the despicable treatment of young gymnasts. It's 2 years since 38 cases being handled by the respected House Field Practice were first pursued, yet only one civil case against the governing party has been settled. From his retreat in France, Phelps appears confident, having reached his 70s, that he will find no more police officers knocking on his door. In response to the latest testimony, he asked why it hadn't been picked up in 2008. Mm-hmm. Why didn't you take care of that? I could have lumped it right in with my minimal sentence. Investigators back then were looking for victims who'd slipped through the net with zero response, he said. He's used to women finding the ordeal testifying too much. It's been happening since 1966 when he was charged with indecently exposing himself to an 11-year-old girl at a swimming pool. Mm-hmm. He said, I was signing an autograph for the girl. I've been to many countries in the world and signed millions and millions of autographs. That's what he said in court. And it got dismissed. So, wow. They said allegations of sexual abuse against Phelps in 1999 were also dismissed for insufficient evidence. So They tried to bring him up on charges. Detectives say that many victims of this kind of abuse are not often ready to report it until they reach their 40s.
Right.
The supremely self-confident Brian Phelps may not quite be as untouchable as he considered himself to be. March 22nd, 2023, gymnastics historical sex abuse case. More women come forward over Brian Phelps' claim. Last month, BBC reported the account of Emma. Her name changed, obviously, here. Emma told Sport that she was one of several victims and claimed that she was raped from 5 to 12 in the mid-70s to early 80s. Emma said there were 15 further survivors from her conversations with other women, which began after she read about Phelps being jailed.
Right.
She said that she always believed the number could be higher. Not everyone would talk about it, probably. She also accused, the gymnastics of failing. So, following the media coverage, several more women have made contact with Emma, and BBC Sport understands British gymnastics has been contacted directly by some of the new alleged victims. The governing body told the BBC that Emma's story was harrowing reading. It says it had been liaising with the police to help facilitate communication for any other survivors who may have been in touch with them, and added, above anything else, the safety and well-being of gymnasts and everyone involved in the sport remains our absolute priority. We must rebuild trust and make the sport safe for everyone. Dorset Police said it's committed to supporting victims. They said, we would urge anyone who's been the subject of non-recent sexual abuse to please report it to police. Please contact police and ask to be put in contact with specially trained police officers. Emma says that several more possible locations of abuse in Dorset have now come to light, and she's helping support those new people who've spoken to her, along with Gymnasts for Change, Gymnasts for, number 4, Change, a global group of former gymnasts campaigning to end abusive coaching practices.
Sure.
And that's, they testified before Congress here. Our friend Mandy Malone testified about this, what goes on. It's fucking
doing well,
horrifying.
Mandy, missed you so much.
Yeah, man, we miss you. I miss you. Hope you're doing well here. So they, it's fucking wild. He's also charged with rape and blah, blah, blah. Okay, so Emma previously told the BBC Sport of the recent exposure of mistreatment in the sport in the White Review investigation. The systemic physical and emotional abuse in gymnastics made her feel empowered to speak out. So he is now, I guess, he's out.
Yeah.
I guess in France.
Awaiting other people to make accusations that are enough to lock him up.
Waiting for a knock on the door.
Yeah.
So one thing we have to, that's, I guess, a silver lining is there's no way he's comfortable in retirement.
No way.
Because literally.
He's always looking over his shoulder.
If a car pulls in the driveway.
He's like,
fuck. He gets up like a crackhead looking through the blinds. Like, oh, shit, what's going on out there?
What do they call him there? What's an investigator in England? Oh, he's in France, though.
He's in France.
Inspector. Inspector Clouseau or some shit.
Inspector's going to come over and So anyway, that's what's going on now. We'll find out what happens more because who knows? There could be a lot more people that come forward. And I would hope, if there are, I hope there's more charges.
I hope the Pink Panther gets him.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, you can't just
fuck with kids and get away with it.
Apparently you can. That's the gross part.
For now.
Especially, that's
so
is
fucked up.
Man. I'm sorry. That is just the worst shit ever. So
terrible story.
Can't get enough of this asshole.
Has he got a jersey or something?
How about a picture of him with his dick bulge popping?
Jesus. He used that thing against people.
Look at that smile, too.
How much is that?
It is 1962 British diver Brian Phelps with his gold medal after winning. It's a photo, $9 Australian.
What is that?
Like, I don't know, 5 kangaroo pelts. I have no idea.
Tail or something?
No clue. With the one koala dick, I think that is. It adds up to. So there's that. Also, British Olympic diver Brian Phelps cleaning his motorcycle.
He has a motorcycle?
It's an old photo of him polishing
Oh, my
his
God.
bike.
It's like an old Harley, too.
Yeah, it is.
Or Suzuki? What is that?
Zoom in.
Can you see what the brand is?
Triumph.
It's a Triumph. Boy's got a Triumph. Look at that big back seat.
Going full British.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. So there's that.
He
doesn't
deserve that.
It's also $9 Australian.
Yeah.
There's some Australian who's just got all these pictures of this guy.
Who is it?
And then British Olympic diver Brian Phelps with his wife in 1966. She was like, oh, he's a molester. I don't even know it. $850.
Are those Austrian or Australian?
Australian.
You sure?
Am I?
I don't know.
AU? That's Australian.
Is that Australian cash?
And it's Australian dollars, too. So,
all right,
yeah,
it's a dollar. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, it would be euros if it was
right.
Austrian.
Austrian, yeah.
So they have
That's
Australian
no good,
dollars.
man. Some Poor Australia.
I like
Somebody liberate that poor fuck from having to have that pedophile shit in his house.
But don't give him money for having pedophile pictures. Just burn those, Australian person. And I like how it's 50 cents cheaper because his wife's in the picture.
Yeah, there's somebody that's safe here.
It's less. Yeah. So there you go, everybody. That is Brian Phelps.
Yeah.
An absolutely horrible.
What a monster.
Horrible, horrible man here.
Bad guy.
Bad guy. One of the worst. He's definitely a scummy scumbag of the year candidate. I mean,
oh, boy.
Have we had anybody that's molested that many kids?
Catalogs?
A systemic fucking... We've never had that, right? I mean, we've had molesters, but...
Calculated.
We had the one swimmer who ran swimming schools and molested
kids. And a tennis
kids.
player, too.
And a tennis player, but it wasn't dozens. There was no Happyland.
That we know of.
That's true.
But, nobody said there was Disney characters.
I'm sorry, that Happyland thing is the worst thing I've ever heard. That's fucking disgusting. He's like horrifying.
The quintessential orange slices man.
Yeah, absolutely. Showing up early, like Snow White kids, I'll put them up on the wall. So if you like that case, or I should say, if you like the way we told you that story, because nobody liked that story, I would hope, definitely give us 5 stars on whatever app you're listening on. Help us out there. It helps out a lot. Post on social media, do all that shit. Speaking of social media, we're at Crime and Sports, and whenever you follow shit on there, so do that. Also, definitely, you certainly want to go to shutupandgivememurder.com, get your merchandise. If you want to go to a Small Town Murder live show, 2 left this year, Boston and New York in December. They're almost sold out, so get your asses in there right now. And, man, thank you for Phoenix and Austin, too. We'll talk about it on Small Town Murder, but fucking great crowds.
Shows,
just terrific weekend. So thank you guys for all that you do for us. Honestly, we are very happy with that. If you want more stuff here, not only you can listen to Small Town Murder, you can listen to Your Stupid Opinions, but you can get even more of it on Patreon. Patreon.com/crime and sports is where you get all of the bonus materials, and it's a lot. And anybody $5 a month or above, there are hundreds of episodes you're going to get immediately. Like, it was like 300-400. There's like a shitload of them on there. So get in there, and then you get new ones every other week. We're not stopping.
No.
You'll keep piling up.
They'll keep coming.
This week, what you're going to get, 1 Crime and Sports, 1 Small Town Murder. You're going to, for Crime and Sports, we're going to talk about Marge Schott. One of the worst people ever.
Bad girl.
I mean, she didn't molest 40 kids in the basement.
Nobody said so.
No. Well, she would do that while calling them racial slurs, too, at the same time. So that would be really weird.
Yeah.
And then being super cheap. She wouldn't even put up licensed Disney characters.
Right.
She'd put up, like, knockoffs. This is Mino, Finding Mino. You know that movie, right? It's just like a blue fish. It's not Dory,
blue
not Nemo.
Fish.
Yeah, it's just all fucked up here. And then for Small Town Murder, we're going to talk about the Sarah Boone trial. And she is the suitcase killer. And officially now, because her trial happened and she was convicted. And in one of the... She testified one of the worst testimonies I've ever seen.
Yeah.
She got down on the ground and fucking zipped up the suitcase. Like, who, you moron. Here, hold the murder. Show us with this murder weapon how you murdered a guy. And she's like, okay. So we'll talk all about that and more. Patreon.com/crime and sports. And you get a shout out at the end of the show, which happens when, everybody?
Right now.
Right fucking now. Jimmie, hit me with the names of the most wonderful fucking people who keep this show going and keep this party rocking. Hit me with them now.
This week's executive producer are Larry Butterfest, Chelsea Morgan, Gary Howard, Lauren Kell, Reagan Shockley. She named a dog after me. Somebody ran it over.
Oh, well,
motherfucker.
They knew.
Poor dog. Jesus. I'm so terrible. Sad about it.
Yeah, that sucks.
Fuck.
We're sorry.
Neil Jones and Morgan von Bierschoten.
Thank you guys. You guys are amazing.
Other producers this week are Peyton Meadows, Liz Vasquez, Julie Del Vecchio, Thomas Smith, Janice Hill, Bryce Johnson, Abby M., Chelsea Coasty Shock, Poopy Diaper, Michelle Alley, Joanne with no last name, Vicky O'Hara, Ronnie Osborne, Mike Lally, Joelle Perry, Sky Fitzpatrick, Cecil Taylor, Cecil perhaps, Juliana Higgins, Jessica with no last name, Emma with no last name, Allison J. Stroopcheski,
That's one.
Chris Cries. Is it Chris? Cries Rex? Chris Rex. I don't know. James with no last name. Addie Gossen. Maybe Gossen. The letter B. Addison Burley. Your favorite stripper. That's a
narrow down.
Boy, I got a lot of those. Stephanie with no last name. Jenny
down.
Marie, Zach Shakur, Mo Cummings, Alyssa. Yeah,
Zach, lesser known Shakur brother.
Zach. Yeah. She ran out of good names.
His other brother Cody,
but it's just Zach with a K.
Cody
That's
Shakur.
kind of cool.
Yeah.
Alyssa Coral, perhaps. Dennis McIntosh, Shannon Dominguez, MG, Kim Thomas, Scott Barrell, perhaps Burrell. Sarah Mongold, Layla with no last name. Kaylee, Kalua. All right. I don't think that's a real name. If she's got Kalua money, good for her.
Hey,
Glinda Smith, so. Lisa Karowski, Met Ali. All right, Ali. That's a very that's a stretch, babe. You can do better. AK, Dana Ritchie, Janice McKay, Lindsay Hall, Punkin with no last name, Hannah with no last name, Agent Cody Banks, probably the real one, I'm sure.
Not even this actor.
He's out driving now. Sarah Smeg White, yikes. Barbara Villalobos, reluctantly upbeat, Letitia Cipriano, Alicia Kay, Liberty Marullo, Aaron McDougal, yes, Nikita Lynn Voorhees, Ellie Mankey, Candace Porter, Jessica Cullum, Kelly Greenwalt, Dawn Lachaw, Jennifer Lips, Allie 7, Michelle Barker, AR, Addie Deacon, Brooklyn with no last name, Amanda N, Jessica Coburn, Jody McGinnis, Miranda Beard, Adam Richards, Jesse Lopez, Callie Beasley, Noah Holmes, Shanna Cara, Jenny Rump, Diane, Diane Alexander, Chris with no last name, Brendan Page, Chandra with no last name, Sydney Felson, Edward Snook, Tyler Coates, Brad Taylor, Ted Steffi. Nope, that's Todd. Shauna Eregwin. Donna Smith, Timothy Human. That's Aaron Hearn, Taco Truck, Nassis, no last name, Cy Cannon, Joseph Novak, Michael York, Bree Tour. What is that? Bree Tour? Bretour.
I don't know.
It's Bree with like mature, T-U. All right. Ritual. Alex with no last name. Jennifer Mateus, Trinity Perrin, Stephanie, nope, that's Stacy Booley, Mel LaCava, Nikki Gonzalez, Roni with no last name, perhaps Ronnie, Emily Birdsong, Katie Mace, Mass, Rigel with no last name, Rigel perhaps, Derek Mahaffey, Ben Stewart, Mark Bust, Patty Cake, Heather Kawaguchi, Macy Fowler, Leah Fiddler, Don Shaw, Tyler Siferi, Megan Wick, Tammy Clementi, Aiden Martucci, Josh Finley, Eric Bircher, Bobby Snyder, Alicia Rose, Zachary Norton, Benfield, Patricia Moran, Christian Steenport, Katie Boland, Pam Van Shy, she perhaps, Comey Merder, 69, I don't know what that is. Travis WTAF, Stephanie Clark, Isaiah the Savage, 13 though, because there's 12 others. Drea obviously. King, Sierra Stribling, Dennis G, Derek Hughes, Josh Zulo, Nancy with no last name, Sean McQueen, Jen Rodriguez, Biku Bacco, Sol Rivera, Kimmy with no last name, Ashley Sanchez, Christian with no last name, Jess with no last name, Grim Seif, Alex Sweet Cheeks, Stoats, L, the letter L, Miss Dr. Aaron, you've earned it. Just Dr. Aaron's fine. Abigail McDermott, Gary Courier, Nikki Satao, Philomoni Sagapaludi, Palutele.
That is a handle.
I don't know. Rebecca Schweitzer, Rob Hall, Vanishing Point, Merritt Anderson, Briag and Sirion? What the fuck is that? Zach Hines.
What the fuck are you?
Chris Williams, Mango with no last name. Rebecca Tierney, Steve Ann Renata with no last name, and all of our patrons. You guys are the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody. You fantastic, wonderful bastards. You keep the show going, and we can't tell you how much we appreciate that. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And keep following us, keep hanging out with us, listen to the other shows, come to some live shows, and keep coming back next week. And live from the Crime and Sports Studios, we will see you next week.
Bye.
If you like crime and sports, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
A few miles from the glass spires of Midtown Atlanta lies the South River Forest, In 2021 and 2022, the woods became a home to activists from all over the country who gathered to stop the nearby construction of a massive new police training facility, nicknamed Cop City.
At approximately 9 o'clock this morning, as law enforcement was moving through various sectors of the property, an individual, without warning, shot a Georgia State Patrol trooper.
This is We Came to the Forest, a story about resistance.
The abolitionist mission isn't done until every prison is empty and shut down.
Love and fellowship.
It was probably the happiest I've ever been in my life.
And the lengths we'll go to protect the things we hold closest to our hearts. Follow We Came to the Forest on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus.